grand, one pocket. Foreign car outside. Living like fast. Niggas need to catch up. Here we go again. Just that seat. You ready to grind? Get your money, nigga. Get money, man. Fuck boys. Rep yours, nigga. Yeah, nigga, what you know about that, nigga? Yeah, nigga. Shit. Every day we hustle, nigga. You hear me? You hear me? Yeah, nigga. I got money on my mind, man. We done talk to you, all you niggas hear me. Especially New York City. All the niggas want action. I gotta move it. I'm in the cool relaxing. See the roof collapsing. I got my paper album, though I'm still cool slacking. The scar fearing, foreign car steering. 60,000 car wearing, just be the crowd hearing. You should catch me walking cocky out the car room. And keep my dust a buck 40 for the car soon. Back in population, the copper drops the racing. Get money over here, what's your occupation? We on top of things, and we got the things. But we only selling birds and try to cop a win. I know the real rich, Richie Porter. R.I.P. left the hood to us, we on the corners. Bright lights in my big city. My ice white in the West Philly. Shit, I'm risking bedtime, front page headline. Let the pedal hit the floor till the throttle red line.
When it's second time, when it's still a second time.
I let my pants sag so I can show my ass. 20 G's a pocket, that's cause you blowing cash. And when the photos flash, Galati's going past. Lights, cameras, autographs. White police call a cab. The flashlight is pricey, the timepiece is icy. And my niggas moving fist skill, it's like the prices. I'ma raise a dog, lawyers when we face the judge. This is the chance you take, try and put your brain on drugs. And we invade the club, standing on the furniture. Throwing gang signs, two-stepping with our burners tough. I'll burn you up like 3-star alarms. We are the bomb, 100 G's on the charm. You think I own the cleaners, how I wash
that paper.
Now we at the dealer trying to
Got all flavors.
we at the dealer, dog. So how you feeling, y'all? You say you're selling off, off the top, we killing off.
Yo, what's going on? Super Friends Special, man. I'm repping Moto. That's what I'm repping. I don't know what y'all cast is repping.
Yes, sir. All day, every day.
What I was saying before we went on the air is, yeah, you need to just move on over there to Cuba. See, this is a sign. It's a sign from God because it's the best you ever sound. I promise you
Super
that.
clear, word.
I mean, you sound crystal clear, fool. I think you in the other room, nigga.
Wow, it's like that, huh? That's good, man.
I'm lying, Lawrence. You can hear him crystal clear.
Wow.
Crystal clear.
Wow. I thought it'd be an issue. That's crazy. So I got to go all over to Cuba to get good reception.
No, that means that when we talked about going abroad, that's the sign.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, nah, real talk, Afi, that's definitely up there, man. Cause yo, before we start the show, let me just say this, man. A lot, if not most of the people that I've met locally, when they meet me and my friends, they address me literally as family.
That you know what? That's how I want to start off the show because the thing, the cool thing about this is, we haven't talked about your Cuba shit, so you guys in the chat get to hear about it at the same time we do. Usually I would have talked to you about it, but you just got here, so.
It's funny you say that because I knew, of course, me talking about Cuba would come up. Yo, this is the first time like I really have to like find my words, man, because coming here, you know how I say when you travel somewhere, you're supposed to have no expectations. So I was trying to have no expectations, but people kept constantly telling me things about Cuba's this, Cuba's that. You're gonna experience this, you're gonna experience that. So when I came here,
bro,
I didn't experience what people were talking about. You know what I'm saying? They're saying like the food's gonna be bad and they don't like, dark-skinned people and this, that, and the third. I didn't experience none of that, man. It's been yo fam, it's been all love from everybody. Boom. The second thing I'll say is this. I'm actually staying on the resort this time because I ain't planning this trip. I actually hopped on this trip with somebody else from my job actually. And so I'm on a resort and I'm on here with 8 other people. And of those 8 people, I only know one of them. So I remember doing a drop from Medellin and I said, yo, be well, yeah, I guess I get to this is therapy for me. I get to tell you everything that's going on that's been going on. So I remember in the Medellin joint, I said, make sure you know who you go with. You know what I mean? Because they could make or break your trip depending on who you are. Well, the person I am, ain't nobody can mess up my trip. But I say all that to say, it's 8 people. What is it? One, two, three, four, 5 dudes, 3 chicks. No, excuse me, 4 dudes. Is it? No, excuse me, 9. 5 dudes and 4 chicks. And when I say 4 chicks, I mean one is literally a grandmother, like she's like in her 60s or 70s. Auntie's probably like in her 40s or 50s, and 2 chicks they in like their mid 20s. Now, the reason I bring them up is like the reason I bring them up is because something simple as I'm gonna try to make this a long story short. We came back from old Havana because, like I said, we're staying on a resort, and it takes us about an hour to get to and from Havana. So we're on our way back. You know what I'm saying? We basically said to give the driver the bread. It was 90 of their pesos, right? So we like, yo, dude did a good job. Let's give him a tip. So we said, all right, 4 people in the car, everybody give 30, which is $1.20. Long story short, Shorty's like, I don't have enough for me and my peoples. I'm gonna have to stop at the hotel, at the resort, go to my room, come back, and pay the dude. I was like, yo, matter of fact, yo, I got the bread right here. Let me just pay it, and then when we get back to the spot, you can just give me the bread right then and there instead of you doing all that back and forth. Now, before I continue, let's let everybody remember, no good deed goes unpunished. Now, I use the word punish very, very lightly because ain't nobody punishing me. But listen to the rest. So we get to the resort, get back to the resort. I done pay the driver. So when we get out the whip, it's the shorty, it's 2 shorties and one of the shorties' boyfriend. So we get out the taxi, and I tell Shorty in front of her man and her cousin, like, yo, since you're going to your room now, let me just go with you, and you just give me the bread then. She's like, all right, no problem. Boom. We go to her room. She gives me the bread. No issues, right? Nah. The person who I told you, I know one person here, and he knows the rest of the people. He came and see me later in the pool and was like, yo, what happened? I know what you mean, what happened? He's like, yo, why Shorty and them got an attitude with you for? I'm looking like, attitude, what you talking about? They said, yeah, you asked for the money at an inappropriate time. I looked at that dude like, what? They said, yeah, they're saying you should have waited before you asked, and this, that. I'm looking like, what? What? I told my dude, I said, what would have been better, an hour, 3 hours, the next day? Like, I know people is drinking, we all around the resort. My whole thing is, it's not even about them. I'm a type of person, I will forget about it because I'm a type of person, when I give something, I give it to go. You know what I'm saying? The reason why it's different here is, and what everybody should know about Cuba, there's no bank. Excuse me, let me restate that. There's no ATM. Okay, there's barely any internet. So with that being said, you got to come out here with all the bread you're going to spend. So if you come out here with $500, you only have $500 to spend, not 501, not 520, $500. So with that being said, it's the first time I've been on a vacation where I actually got a budget. So that's the reason why my mindset was, let me get that bread now instead of having to talk to Shorty later on and having the numbers change where she's supposed to give me this amount, but it's gonna be a different. I don't like, and like I said, I'm dealing with a shorty. You know what I'm saying? That's emotions involved and all that. So I say all that to say, this is my first time going on a vacation or traveling with a shorty, or with women, with females. I now see why I don't do it, man. I mean, I'm not going through it, but the dude who I know, he knows the shorties and the shit he's going through, man. Like, oh, they want to do this instead of what you guys are doing. I'm like, yo, fam, do what the hell you want to do. That's not your girl. You know what I'm saying? That's not your wife. That's just your coworker, fam. Nah, but she might this, she might. Anyway, back to Cuba. When it comes to traveling, like I've always said, I would rather be in an Airbnb amongst the locals than in a resort. So let me get into that real quick, and I'm gonna pass the mic. So the difference between a resort and being amongst the people. Boom. Besides today, I've been on the resort Thursday, Friday, and half Saturday, so 2.5 days. I was in Old Havana for 12 hours. Okay, my experience in the resort, not top shelf liquor. The food is eh. I'm not saying it's bad. It's eh. You know, because it's mass produced, so you can't expect, you know, quality gourmet food that's made, you know, made in mass production. Besides that, the resort is the type of spot where I'm the youngest dude here, pretty much. I'm knocking on 40. I'm the youngest dude here. Everybody here, not elderly like, you know, geriatric, but you know, it ain't a party spot. You know what I'm saying? People going to sleep mad early and all that. Another thing, everybody booed up and coupled up. This is like a couples retreat or something like that. So that's the resort. Long story short, that's the resort. 12 hours in old Havana? Jeez Louise, man. That's where I'm stuck. Like, it's like a big ball of excitement and experience. Like, I gotta like stop the movie and slow it down so I can start explaining it to you, man. Like, yo, I have to show it to you. Like, this is thing called the Malecon. It's a thing called the Malecon. It's like a strip. It's like, see, I'm from New York. I was about to say it's like the FDR. It's like what's that highway in California that's on the Pacific? Is it the Pacific Coast Highway? Yeah, there's a highway. Not a, it's a strip that's like the Pacific Coast Highway, and it got like I don't even know what body of water it is, but it's so beautiful, man. So you got the beautiful body of water on one side on the right, but on the left side, you got buildings that look like they've been up since like 1960. Like I mean, if you go to New Havana, you're gonna see the new buildings and all that. But to be 100% honest with you guys, everybody listening, I felt most comfortable in Center City, Havana, where the buildings look like they've been around for 70 years. And I mean, people outside chilling, you know, stray cats and dogs walking around. Like, that's where I feel comfortable. And when I went through there, yo, everybody's showing love. No violence, no aggression, no mean mugging. People approaching me like, hey, what's up? Where you from? Nova York, United States. Oh, that's what's up. You my brother. You my family. What's up, man? Yo, you my family. I'm looking like, you know, I know how to read people. And what I got for them, they really believe that. And when I say that they calling me family, I'm not saying they even my complexion. They way lighter than me, and they calling me family, not even just brother, like, you know, black man, black man. They're like, oh yeah, we family, man. We know you got to know your history. Some dudes out here with you know with locks, dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? With that African type, you know, garb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could talk all night about this shit, but last thing I'm gonna say, I went to this one. I gotta show it to you in my vlog, man. I went to this one spot, man. Like, that was probably the best experience I had so far, man. It was so much art. It was so much art, and in the art, you seen the culture. That's what I can emphasize about this whole trip, man. Culture. I experienced nothing but pure culture, man. I went to a carnival after doing what I did with my new amigas. I went to a carnival outside the crib. The carnival was kind of shutting down. It was about 12:30. Boom, I was going back home. I'm like, fuck it, we just gonna go back home for the next morning. My man said, nah, let's take the scenic route and just hit the Malecon, walk down the Malecon 2 blocks, and you know, we just take it home like that. Fan, as soon as we hit the Malecon, it was about maybe 1:30 in the morning. A big ass block party on Malecon, 1:30 in the morning, man. They were celebrating like the 500th anniversary of like their town or something like that. When I say people was out, it was like you know, like a Puerto Rican Day parade or something like that. Like I said, 1:32 in the morning, they got the music playing. I mean, they shut down the whole strip. I mean, babies is outside, and mind you, police is out there. But understand, police don't even carry guns, man. That's how safe it is out here. So that's what I'll say right now, man. Y'all can definitely see the rest on my vlog.
All right, bitches, 1 through 10.
Okay, okay, and we're not comparing them to Medellin, right? We can't do it. That's gonna throw the bar off. So not compared to Medellin.
No, do both.
With,
I've been, so nigga, I want to know.
Cuban, you know, in fact, now when I think about it, Cuban chicks are real sexy, man. They have what's the word I'm looking for? Like the word that comes out the word that comes to my head is amor. They have, when I say love, it's not love like head over heels in love, but they have affection. They have, you know what? It's feminine. The word is feminine. They're very feminine, but the way it is out here. Okay, let me break that down. The reason why I can't say I know the Cuban women as much as the other women that are countries that I've been to. See, the way it is out here, like you know, this is a communist country. I mean, so long story short, if let's say a group of chicks, 3 chicks, is seen walking down the street with some tourists, that's a problem. Like that chick might get arrested and for suspicion of prostitution. And if she's and what I keep hearing out here is when the police take you away, more than likely you're not going to be seen ever again, or for the next 10 years, 20 years. Like that's how serious it is out here. So that's why it's so safe. That's why everybody's so friendly, because they know like yo fam, like one of the dudes told me, you'll have babies outside at any time of the night with absolutely no supervision, fam. And the reason they say that is because ain't nobody kidnapping that kid. If you even attempt to do that, that's 30 years. Oh, without even, there's no judge, no nothing. Oh, you got people say you did that? Oh yeah, we take you 30 years. So I say all that to say it's hard for me. It was hard for me to meet chicks during the daytime, but when I went to the carnival, jeez Louise, man. Oh, you see my pictures. That's where I met them chicks, man. It was at a carnival, man. Just, oh my, yo. But anyway, back to the country. You gotta understand, man. They literally make about $20 a month. Not make, excuse me. They are rationed $20 a month. Doctors and professionals are rationed $40 a month. Okay, so a lot of chicks are. It's hard to talk to chicks, man. And then when you do talk to a chick, I don't know. It's just different, man. They different because the whole system is different. It's a communist country, man. So what I've told people is this is my recon trip. This is my first time coming here, first time meeting the people, understanding the culture. The next time I come here, definitely not gonna be in a resort. I'm gonna do an Airbnb, and of course, as usual, I met some people out here, got some connections, met some dudes, a cab driver, another dude who hustles in Havana. So this is my recon mission. Next time I go, I can have a better answer for you as far as the Cubanas, because I really only met the chicks at the carnival.
Okay.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give them a solid 8.
8.
Yeah, solid.
That's what's up.
Hey, yo, LDA, happy Father's Day, man.
Father's Day.
Appreciate
Happy
that,
Father's
man.
Day.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Happy Father's Day to everybody in the chat too.
Check in, Lawrence. What's going on in your world, Ken?
What's going on? You turn that down a little bit.
Solomon said Jones, Animal Planet. Professor Mitchell, I thought you was coming through.
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. We here, man.
What's going on, man? Big ups to you out in Cuba. I hope you're enjoying yourself and enjoying the food and enjoying the festivities are out there.
Sir.
Alpha Kingdom, him and BOA wrecked it this Friday on that mob. I was listening to it today.
I ain't get to hear it yet.
And they wrecked havoc. It was classic. It was like 5 drops in one. But it was really definitely one of those great drops right there. It's almost like you can break that up and make a course out of it. That's how good it was.
Wow.
GMB said it was the Splash Brothers.
Right, yeah, it was like Splash Brothers. You guys were it was good. And I think that dynamic worked out well. So I'll be back. Don't worry, I'm coming.
Everything good with you, LDA?
Everything good. Everything's good. Everything is good.
How you celebrate Father's Day?
Me and my sons came to church with me, and we just laughed and took pictures and to spend that time together. I had to work today, so that was my way of getting that time in with them and them with me. So I got time to spend time with my 2 sons, and hear everybody say they look like twins. We all look like twins.
That's some strong genes, man.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get one of those suits?
I did not. That suit. I did not get one of those suits. I wore another suit I just got. It's a double-breasted suit, but I did have them shoes on. So shoes are off the chain. But one of those suits are going to come. Is down the road. So that's down the road. That's down the road.
Well, if you want to help Brother Lawrence get them suits, he told me a secret. He said he was going to do doing audio consultations on his Instagram. So
come get one of those suits.
Yeah. So that's what I heard. Now, I don't know. Maybe you know how Lansing got two people. Maybe you got to talk to the other one. But
The other one got to pay up.
the other one said if you want a consultation, you can DM him and then he can tell you about it, and he'll just give you audio consultation.
That's
Hey
definitely
yo,
right.
hey yo, real quick, did I miss anything? What I miss in the YouTube world, man, since I've been out here?
Missed the fire drop with O'Shea yesterday, boy. I was on there with Solo and Swag. I mean,
A word?
that
Wow,
shit,
you got me get loud up in here, man. That's what's up.
it was good. That shit was
Nice.
because you know what the topic was?
What's that?
You judge woman's sexual past, so you already know just off of that. You already know just off of that it was crazy.
Yep. Y'all could probably talk all day about that.
Uh-huh.
Cha. Yeah, I did a drop about. Yeah, y'all see the drop, but I did a drop about this chick on the resort. I mean, I was, cause I'm with this dude for my job, and he's not necessarily red pill. Let's for lack of, he's not blue pill either. Let's just, for lack of a better term, let's call him purple. All right. So long story short, we at the bar and we go to this social club bar. It's only open like after 12 in the morning. We go up in there. It's a bunch of dudes and like two chicks. Now there's a piano in there, a dude playing piano and all that. Sure, you got red hair sitting next to a white dude. She's singing loud as hell, mad off key, right? So I made it my mission to not look at her, to not pay her any attention, right? Go to the bar with my man's and another dude. And I'm like, yo, in my head, I'm like, yo, she's gotta be looking for attention, man, because this spot is mad quiet. If she would have stopped singing, this shit would be mad tranquil with the piano playing in the background. I'm like, she's looking for attention. I say about 2-3 minutes later, here she come walking, just staying right next to my dude at the bar. My dude was gonna say, I forgot what he's gonna say, like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? My dude couldn't even get a syllable out. All he said was, what? She already turned her whole body towards him, like, hey, yes, how you doing? My name is so-and-so. I was like, she's looking for attention, man. Boom. She says what she says, whatever, and she bounces. And I put my man on, I'm like, yo, fam, she's looking for attention. You know what I mean? You could give it to her if you want, but I wouldn't do that if I were you, man, because she just want to play with you. He's like, yeah, that's her husband right there. And this, that. I was like, that's her husband? Hold on. So that's her husband, but she over here flirting with you? I'm like, I don't even sound right. Boom. Shorty come back again. I said, yo, next, if she come back over here, I'm going to show you how you do this. Boom. She at the piano again, singing mad off key, loud again. I made sure I turned my complete back to her this time. Boom. She comes. Cause I'm sitting like kind of facing my dude as we sitting at the bar. She comes, she walks in between the two of us as if she's about to order something else. You know what I mean? When she does that, that means both of us are facing her. You know what I'm saying? As soon as she did that, I literally stood up, took my bar chair and turned it 90 degrees away from her so that I'm facing, you know what I mean, like perpendicular to her, where I'm not looking at her, I'm looking in the same direction as her, like she's to the side of me. I noticed she peeped that. So boom, she turns her body towards my man like, yeah, they had whatever conversation. Took my hat, whatever I had, you see the hat I have on right now? Where am I at? Well, took my hat, boom, had it down like this. Now I'm at the bar just drinking my drink and Shorty's to the side of me. She talking, and she's like, stop talking to me. And I'm talking to her like this, like yeah, blah 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 blah. See, I'm not even really giving her attention like that. She's like, oh, this, that, how old are you? And I hit her with the usual shit. Guess. Took my hat, I was like, yo, guess. She just turned around, was like, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This chick know I'm not here for the games. She leaves, I tell my man again, this is what's going on, blah 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 blah. Shorty comes back again. I again do not pay her no attention. She turns to my man. No, she talks to my man and she turns to me and she's like, why do you hate me so much? I said, what? She said, why do you hate me? Starts rubbing my shoulder. Why do you hate me so much? What did I do to you? As she's rubbing my shoulder, I just looked at her like also I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, why are you touching me? Boom. So we start talking. And I'm just like, first thing I say to her is like, yo, now I'm saying everything in Spanish and she's speaking English. Mind you, she's Cubana and I'm an American. I'm speaking Spanish, she's speaking English. First thing I tell her is like, yo, and she's bullshitting with her. I just cut her off. Like, yo, and I'm saying in Spanish, I say, yo, I see like a devil in your eye or something. She's like, what? I said, I think I see like a devil or something. No, it's no devil. I look at the bartender like, yo, your bartender, how you say demon? Demon? Yeah, look like you got like a demon in you. She started laughing, ha ha ha, right? Comes back again, yo, why's your friend so mad at me? Why does he hate me? I'm gonna make a long story short. My man ended up taking it back. and you know what I'm saying, dusting her off. Mind you, that's another thing I said. She had a ring on. I said, you have a ring on? I said, what? That's for your sugar daddy, huh? She's like, no, that's for my, what she said, my poppy? I was like, yeah, sugar daddy poppy, that's the same thing. Aha, laugh, 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 right? Then she had a, I ain't gonna get to that part. Anyway, my man takes it back, smashes it down, right? Now remember, a fourth person that I know, before he took it down and smashed it down, a fourth person that I know came to the bar. First thing she said to this dude was, why does your friend hate me for? I didn't even do anything to him. And in my head, I'm just laughing because my thing is, I love when a chick tell me, I hate you. I'd rather a chick say that than, oh, I love you so much, and cause you know it's bullshit. But anyway, the crux of the story is my man, who I said was a purple pill, he ended up taking it back and knocking it down. But listen very carefully. Oh, I forgot another part. She invited us to the disco, right? The club. So after we left the bar, me and my man, we went to the bar because he wanted to the club because he wanted to, you know, meet her and see if she was for real, what she talking about. So we get over there. I'm at the bar with my back completely to her, right? But there was a point in time where I had my back to the bar, completely forgetting about her. I'm just looking at the scenery, and then in my peripheral, you know, you could feel somebody looking at you. I see Shorty grinding the shit up my man's, but looking right at me while she grinding. Okay, I ain't paying no mind, but I peeped it though. So I say all that to say, after she finished grinding on dude, he took it back, he knocked it down, and he said right after he finished knocking it down, what you think Shorty asked him? Yo, why does your friend hate me so much? Yo, fellas, why she thinking about me after my man smashed it for? Why she still wondering why I hate her when all I said was I saw a devil in her, and all I did was show her no attention. I mean, anybody got an answer for me? I mean, I don't know. So I say all that to say, stop giving these chicks attention, man. You gotta you gotta treat them the way they are, man. They stop putting them on a pedestal. The fact that I did not treat her, put her on a pedestal. The fact that I used body language to show her you're not getting my attention like that. If anything, like I said, she couldn't even get my whole face. I had my shoulder blocked half my face, and that turned to her being intrigued. She wanted me to talk more and be like, "No, I don't hate you. No, you're a good girl. You're fine. You this." No, I gave her none of that, man. And because of that, she's thinking about me while dude is smashing. Tis tis tis. Hey yo, we got a topic for today, man.
Oh no, we was gonna open up the call lines in a minute, but you know, since you was checking in from out of town, you just been going in.
No doubt, man. It's been a long few days, man. Shit. All right. The one thing I ain't mentioned was the weather, man. It's mad humid. That's just that be killing me. I can deal with heat. I could deal with dry heat, 90 degrees, 85 degrees, no problem. But 75 degrees with high humidity, holy wow. You just step outside and you start sweating, man. So that's the only thing I had to get used to was the humidity out here, man. Real serious. But everywhere got AC, so it's not a big deal. See, people be thinking that Cuba is behind, but it's not as behind as people think. Like, yes, there's mad old cars out here. I mean, cars from the '70s and all that. Yes, there's a lot of old buildings, but I put it like this. When I thought old school, I was thinking like they were in the '60s and '70s. But if I were to give a year or a decade, they're kind of like in the early '90s, late '80s, early '90s, I would say, as far as like modernization and stuff like that, man. And I peeped though, they're kind of like behind on things. Like when I watch ESPN over here, they were playing games from like 4 or 5 months ago, like it was new. You know what I'm saying? So another thing is like they're kind of disconnected from the world. Oh, okay. Let me tell you a good thing that I did hear about the Cubanas and the people in Cuba. Cuba has one of the lowest HIV and STD rates in the world because they're isolated. People don't just come in and out of here. Matter of fact, this is the only place where I had to fill out. You normally have to fill out what do you call that? Like let's call it an immigration form, basically saying how much money did you bring, do you have any livestock, this, that, and the third, where you staying, how long you're staying. But this time it was that paper and an additional paper which asked stuff like Did you when was did you have a fever within the past 20 days? Have you had the flu within the past 15 days? Have you had a headache? Like, have you thrown up? Like, it's like they want to know your health status, a little bit about your health status, even though people can lie about it, but they actually want to know a little bit about your health status before you even come into their country. And it's the type of spot where if your paperwork ain't right when you arrive, they'll send your ass back home instantly. Ain't no, okay, well, you could be here 2 days, let's discuss it now. If they ain't feeling you, yo, what's the next flight going back to America? Yeah, put that person on there. That's how serious it is out here, but I can appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? They're preserving their culture, they're preserving their people, they're preserving their health. You know what I'm saying, oh, okay, another thing that I realized, like I said, I met a couple chicks. Yo, out of the 4 chicks, only the one out of the 4 chicks, one was pregnant, and she was the only one who was having a baby, meaning all out of the 4, she was the only one with the baby, and that baby was her being pregnant. The other 3, one was 22, one was 24, and one was 26, I believe. None of them had kids. They're Hispanic, and none of them had kids, because it's a type of country where the more kids you have, the worse it is for you. There's more mouths to feed, you know what I'm saying? It's this, that, and the third. Whereas in America, you get a check for every child. As far as women are concerned, they get a check for every child that they get, man. So with that being said, you don't have a bunch of chicks mad promiscuous out here. Like this, if you coming out here on some, what's the word, whoremongering, if you're out here looking for some whoremongering, that's not happening here, bro. Like, you got to get out here, and like I said, these chicks have a lot of amor, they have a lot of love. So if you come out here on some chill, like, I'm trying to get to know the culture, a little bit of Spanish, you are in 100%, because they recognize, especially the American black man, they look at him like he's God. Then when I say I'm from New York, I don't even gotta talk no more.
Salute for the super chat. Grown man business. He said, MOTU, baby. Rosewood, what's up? He said, yeah, I didn't see my prego women in Cuba. Really, stay your tall ass up. We gonna do a show after this. Stay your tall ass up. Like 7 feet. Steph, what up?
Steph, what's good, man?
What up? Somebody else I just said something. Oh, grown man, you already got the link already, fam.
Yo, real talk. Yo, really. Okay, boom. We talking about apartments and all that, right? This is the type of spot where I would buy some property and come out here from time to time, man, because it's just beautiful. But besides that, real talk. Yo, if I have a child outside the country, it might be from Cuba, fam. Like, real talk. The way these chicks act, the way they are. I mean, I'm literally going to people's houses, fam. I'm going into people's homes, chilling in their living room after knowing them for like 2 minutes. Chilling, offering me food. Like, it was real weird, man. I'm thinking that they about to set me up. And like, yo, my uncle's down the block. Yo, let me call my uncle real quick so you can meet him too. Boom, meet the uncle, meet the nephew. And we probably met these dudes on the street. They're like, yo, you hungry? Yo, just come through. I'm like, yo, so, how much pesos you want? They're like, nah. You in my country. We family. Come on. I'm like, what? Yeah. Come back next time you in here. You come to my house, I show you my sister and my aunt, and you go to I'm looking like, yo, why are they doing this? And they straight up keep telling me, because we are family. I'm getting excited. Hold on.
You said you thought they were setting you up, huh?
Yeah, I got excited, man. I took my headphones out, but
You thought they were setting you up?
Yeah, of course. But the New York in me felt like they might be setting me up. But the way I walked around the town, I see the way people move, reading body language. Yo, they said, yo, if a citizen owns a gun, that's automatically 20 years. If you rob somebody with a gun, that's 30 years. They don't play out here, man. If you got a knife that can hurt somebody, I think he said like 10, 15 years, man. They don't do none of that over here. Like, you will lose your life by doing something dumb like that. So my New York was like, they about to set me up, but my logic stepped in, was like, nah, for my body language, I think he's for real. Like, man, that's why it's hard for me to, because it's so unbelievable. I can't even get the words out because I can't believe it. Like, it's not just one person's house I went into. Like I said, I stayed at a resort, but then I went to an Airbnb, which is at a person's crib. So you may be thinking I'm talking about the Airbnb dude. Nah, I'm talking about, I took a horse and buggy ride And the dude who was doing the horse and buggy, he invited me to his brother's crib. Like, yo, if you hungry, come to my brother's crib. You can meet his wife, you know. Excuse me, she cooked, she this, she that. I'm looking like, oh, here come the setup. Oh, he's gonna try to get some more bread. Nah, man. I mean, if you want to say he was trying to get something out of us, okay, this is what I'll say. All right, yeah. Matter of fact, this is a lesson I learned. And I did it on a drop, and I say right here. When you go out the country and you exchange your bread, make sure you also get small denominations. I don't think I've ever said that before. Make sure you get small denominations because you don't want to be in a situation where you know, you got big bills and you're dealing with somebody who don't got, you know, a lot of change. In a situation like that, most of the time they be like, you know, I'll come back with the change, or, you know, you're in a situation where you might have to walk 4 blocks to get the change to come back to the person. So you might be like, you know what, just keep the change or something. You know what I'm saying? So let's say keep small denominations. Now, the reason I learned that lesson, and the reason why you'll have a lot of large denominations is because when you change your money, let's say you change it $500, $600, the first, basically the last $100, they'll put in small denominations, maybe one $50 bill, one $20 bill, one $10. You know what I'm saying? So it could equal up 100. But the rest are going to be large denominations, and so the majority of your denominations will be high. Now, as far as dude, see, don't never make a big deal out of nothing, man, because it could turn into a bigger deal. So basically, I'm at the dude crib, this and that. He's like, yo, you want some water? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, there's a store down the block. You know, you can get some water, this and that. I'm like, oh, ah. He's like, matter of fact, yo, just give me you know, the place. I'll go get it for you, so you can chill right here. You know, get to know, you know, the people's this and that. I'm like, all right, no doubt. So long story short, my change was supposed to be like, 10 pesos. 10 pesos is probably like $3 or something. No. Pardon me. My change was supposed to be 20 pesos, and he came back with 10. So I'm like, yo, where's my other 10 pesos? He's like, oh, nah, you know, the other person who I work with, yeah, he wanted a soda, and he wanted to get this, that, and the third. So, you know, I'm like, yo, fam, like, it'd be one thing if you asked me beforehand, you know, to buy da-da-da. Mind you, everything I'm about to tell you right now, this is the New York coming out of me, all right? I was like, yo, fam, like, how you just gonna use my $10 like that and not even tell me? Like, it'd be one thing if you ask, like, it'd be not a problem, but you just using my bread without. And I think the reason why I was feeling like that is because, like I said, I'm on a budget. You know what I'm saying? Once my bread is gone, it's donezo. Like, it's done. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need bread, you know, for my carry on back home, for my taxi and all that. So, you know, I'm making sure everything good. So in that moment, I was like, yo, like, let's just, I ain't gonna say I was thinking about violence, but I was thinking about a lot of aggression at that moment. It was my ego. My ego felt mad played, you know what I'm saying? But I calmed down because I thought about where I was, you know what I'm saying, the hospitality I was getting from him, you know, from his family and all that. And then I thought logically, like, yo, you beefing over $2-3? Like, come on, fam. Like, you gonna be all right. You know what I mean? So I let it go, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, dude ended up hooking me up later on, you know what I'm saying, with some advice, you know what I'm saying? I got a new connect now, you know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, man, as usual, as a man, you control your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Set your emotions aside, use logic and reason, man. If I was emotional, I would have bought my New York out, and I'd probably be doing 20 to 30 years in Cuba, over $3. Eddie FEWS, what it do, man?
Yo, what up, y'all?
Ain't nothing, man,
Where
chilling.
you at right now?
Yo soy in Cuba,
Oh,
Havana,
okay.
Cuba. Yes, sir.
What's it looking like out there? I ain't never been to Cuba.
Yeah, man. Yo, it's yo. I was just telling people, real talk. I might have my first child out here in Cuba, man. Like, it's okay. Well, you missed a little bit. I just recap. Like people literally coming up to me saying, like, they're not even saying what's up, brother, like on some black man shit. Nah, they saying what's up, family. I'm like, oh yeah, that like they're like, no. I'm serious. Like, you family. Like, if you do the history like that, we brothers. Like, we real brothers. I'm looking like, all right, this dude must want some pesos or something. Like, it got to a point where I was offering pesos to people, and I could feel like they felt a little offended. Like, cause I'm like, oh, this dude is telling me about the culture. He's telling me about this. Oh, he must want some pesos. Nah, they want you to know, like, yo, this is home, family. Whenever you're ready to come back here, come back. We got you. Like what I was just saying, like people invited me into their living rooms, fam. I'm meeting people's daughters, aunts, and all that. They giving me food, drinks, and I'm looking like, yo, they about to set me up. Nope. They just
Right.
happy. They just happy to see an outsider. They're happy to see. And as soon as I start speaking Spanish, they be like, oh, yeah, come through. Like, you family. Let's go. Let's do this. So in addition to that, you know, HIV and STDs is one of the lowest, if not the lowest rate in Cuba. But because the laws are so strict, like for example, if you own a gun, it's automatic 20 years. If you do any type of if you break the law with the gun, like robbery or anything like that, that's automatic 30 years. If you have a knife, that's 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, he probably his Wi-Fi probably went out. But yeah, let's wait for Eddie to come back. We could chop it up about something else till he come back. I don't want to keep talking about the same thing, but I'm really excited about Cuba, man. I can't even lie. Like, if you listen to what people say, you're not gonna come to Cuba. You're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be boring. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. My 12 hours amongst the people in the local town, I had more fun in those 12 hours than the 3 or 4 days that I've been on a resort. Mind you, the resort is all inclusive. We got the beach down the way, jacuzzis, pools. You know what I'm saying? We have food here too. I'm saying, drinks anytime you want. And I still have more fun amongst the peoples, man. Right? I'm walking down. You'll see it in my vlog. I'm walking down the blocks, saluting all the dudes. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cómo está? I'm saying, they're giving the same back. Like, yo, my brother, ¿cómo está? Where you from? Nueva York. I see from your style, you know, blah, blah, blah. I have family in Florida. I have family in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? It was never nobody looking at me like, yo, why you talking to me? It was never like, yo, who you? It was more like, welcome. Welcome, mind you. These blocks don't got no street lights. They don't have street lights like we do back at home, man. So I'm walking through, for lack of a better term, I'm walking through the neighborhood with barely any lights. And guess what? I felt more comfortable there than here with all these lights and cameras and, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't real. It's all made up right here. It's a facade. I get it. You got people come from Germany, Australia, Canada. You know what I mean? When they come here, they think this is Cuba. That's cool. But I can tell this is a little, you know what I mean? A little, nah, that's not my flavor, man. Again, I need to be amongst the people. That's how you know where you really at, whether or not you really want to come back or not. My one night on Malicon, yo, fam, they were having a festival at 2 in the morning. I mean, it was cracking. Not no little, no, boom. People, like, I felt like I was like in an African samba dance or something like that. I mean, people, chicks doing their dance, like groups of chicks doing their thing. You got dudes doing their thing, and I met a dude. He put me onto cigars. He's like, if you have a real, okay, that's another thing. So, I got so much shit to fucking. You got me thinking about everything I'm doing, man. Cigars, man. Anybody who's a cigar smoker or cigar connoisseur, one of the things I learned about cigars, he said, and he showed it to me, a good cigar, you squeeze the cigar in the middle, and it's supposed to take back its original shape. I have not seen, and the cigar he showed me was probably one of the first cigars that I saw that actually did what he said. The second thing he showed me with the same cigar, he took the cigar and started rolling it in between his two hands. He had me open my hand up like you about to cup some water, and he took the cigar and he rolled it in his hands. And I was expecting some flakes to fall out. Not a goddamn thing fell out, man. That's a quality cigar right there. So anybody who's a cigar connoisseur or anybody who wants to be a cigar connoisseur, man, that's one of the things you should learn, man. Oh, I went to a cigar shop. I saw a 60-foot cigar. Yeah, 60 feet. There's a dude who's in the Guinness World Record for making cigars. Got a chance to watch him make a cigar. Like, this dude is like literally living Cuban history. The dude has his own wax statue in his own tobacco shop. That's crazy. But yo, got to meet him, old dude, but you could tell it's straight history, man. Yo, oh man, you got me excited, man. My mouth was watering. I met another cat.
Tell me, what do you see? Excuse me. See a lot of remnants of the African culture there.
Okay. 100%. They took me to this one spot. Forgive me for forgetting the name, but that's exactly where I was going with this. There's an artist. I don't remember his name at the moment, but as soon as I get back, you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely gonna I'll let you go on, I'll let you guys know on the next Super Friends so that you guys can look this dude up. This yo, I went to this area and this is what I was talking about before. It was just art, right? It was just art, like paintings, sculptures. But when I say art, it's like art in an alley. Like I was walking through an alley, literally an alley. and it was so much color. It was vibrant. It was all that. So boom, they was like, yo, let me go. I forgot the dude's name, man. But he's got to be a famous artist because dude has pictures with Harry Belafonte. What is it? Harry Belafonte. I can't remember everybody right now, man. Because I was taken aback by where I was at. But anyway, they took me to his artist shop, his art shop, and they're like, yo, you go down that stairs right here. That's where his exclusive artwork is. The dude I'm talking about. And mind you, this dude's probably like in his mid-70s, old dude. Walk through the door. Dude is sitting there in a chair, no shirt on, like looking like the Cuban panda or something like that. Just looking at us like, yo, what up? Chilling, smoking a cigar and shit. Looking at his paintings, man, like, geez Louise, man, I can't put it into words, man. The stuff I was looking at, like, there was one particular painting that he did, man, that captured me, man, like, and I can't even describe it to you. That's crazy. There's a picture. I'm envisioning the painting that I'm thinking of right now, and I cannot describe it to you. The shit blew my mind, man. But anyway, we left there to go to another artistry spot. Like, it's what I keep emphasizing, man. Is so much culture, man, that we do not know about, man. They're so into the arts. Like, I don't see that out in where I'm at in America, man. And they preserve it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I met that artist, which was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was standing next to history. I feel like I met somebody else, man. But LD, what was your question again? I got excited.
I was saying, do you see a lot of remnants of the African culture there?
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Thank you for reminding me. When I went to go check let's call him the Buddha, the Cuban Buddha, because I can't remember his name right now. When I walked into his shop, the dude who welcomed me into his shop was wearing dashiki. Okay, was wearing dashiki, had some African beads on him, and then was put me on to Ogun and some other, ancient African gods, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? Saw some people in there with some dreadlocks. You know what I mean? A lot of Africa. Oh, he literally had the continent of Africa around his neck off also. So that right there, before I even met the Buddha, that right there shocked me. Like, this dude is like mad, like pro-African. Like, but you from Cuba? Like, side note. Met this one chick. Talking to her. She's like, yo, yeah, I got family in Haiti. How you got family? What you mean you got family? Yeah, I got family in Haiti. I was like, what, you speak Creole too? I was like, yo, let me guess, what, you speak Creole too? I'm saying all this in Spanish. Let me guess, you speak Creole too? It's like, yeah, I speak Creole. I was like, yo, sac passe. She said, bon bagay. Now, what you don't know is usually when people say sac passe, most people say mat boule. That's like the global, okay, I know how to speak a little Creole, ha ha ha. When you say bon bagay, that's like if you in Haiti, that's how you talk. Man, let's just say that revved me up. The fact that a chick from another country knows my culture, my family culture. Yo, we gonna talk offline what happened with that shorty, man. But back to what I was saying. Walked into the art spot, saw the Africanism and all that. Then I seen the Buddha dude, and there's a person named Shakur out here, right? Anybody on the panel? Anybody? Y'all know there's a person named Shakur that live out here, right?
I know exactly who she is.
Okay, she visits there she visits that the Buddha and her are close friends, and she comes to the shop at least once or twice a week. Like, this is what the dude with the African piece was telling. I'm like, what? He's breaking it down, like, about just the history, man. Like, for a dude from Cuba to be breaking down the African diaspora history, yo, it blew my mind, man. Like, and the dude really looked like he was that's what he wanted. Like, it's almost like he didn't even look Cuban, fam. Like, if you look at his facial features, yeah, he looked Cuban, but his whole attire, everything he was talking about was straight. It wasn't just straight Africa. It's the African diaspora. And for those who don't know, diaspora, it means globally, everywhere, not just in Africa, not just in America, everywhere. That's what he was about. He was all about uniting all of us. And that's the reason why I believe they don't want us knowing about Cuba. Because Cubans are all about bringing the melanated black people together against the opposition. So I would advise anybody and everybody come down one time to Cuba, man, to see that the propaganda that they hitting you guys with is so untrue, man. Like I've never experienced this much love from a country, man. And let's be clear. I was in old Havana for only 12 hours. For only 12 hours, and I experienced everything I'm telling you about, man, with the artistry, the different apartments that I went to, the people that that's only 12 hours. If I spent 4 days out there, I'd probably be what do you call it, an unofficial citizen out here, man.
I heard that. Well, real quick, Eddie FEWS, man. Eddie FEWS, happy belated birthday. Well, actually, I actually told you on your birthday, but for y'all cats, he just had a birthday and he just went on the vacation. Tell us about the vacation, man. You just went on it. How was your birthday, fam?
Hey, what up? My connection is all fucked up, so I don't really want to get too deep into nothing and just start breaking up. But my birthday was good. I'm just in here listening to Red Pill, just. But everything was real fly. I know you seen it on YouTube, but you seen it on Instagram. I was pretty much showing everybody what I was doing, but just living real fly. That's it for the weekend. With a baddie.
Yes, sir. Can respect that. For sure.
How long you gonna be out there, Red Pill?
I'm coming. I've been here since Thursday. I'll be out on Tuesday afternoon. So like 5 days.
Okay.
But again, to be honest, and that's another yo. Okay, I didn't tell you that part. So let's say for the resort, I'll break the numbers down. For the resort, 5 days, I probably paid like $550. Yeah, $550 for the 5 days. American dollars, $550 for the 5 days on the resort. When I went to Havana for the Airbnb, it was $30 a night. So I recognized I would actually save money by going to the Airbnb. It'd be $30 a night. I buy the local food, or I'll go to my new friends, apartment and eat there. And okay, the one thing I'll say as far as like quote unquote donations, like I said, they weren't open to me offering them pesos, but what they were open to was clothes. You know what I'm saying? They don't get new clothes often. You know what I'm saying? So they open to, clothes, toiletries, you know what I'm saying? They're not used to, you know what I'm saying, a Head and Shoulders or something like that, or the new, deodorants that people are using. I know those things are still kind of like old school to them, you know what I'm saying? Because they probably still getting their stuff from like Russia or China or something like that. But what I would suggest, to be honest, which would be a great gesture if you were to come out to Cuba, come with some clothes that you don't wear no more, some shoes that you don't wear no more, you know what I'm saying? Some little toiletries, you know what I'm saying? And the people will greatly appreciate that, man, because they don't, for lack of a better term, you know what I'm saying, they don't have quality products, you know what I'm saying? Everything is kind of like, what's that word? When shit used to come in the white box on the shelves, you know what I mean? What do you call that shit? Damn. The Wick used to buy it on Wick. There's a name for that. Anyway, but they have like the basic bottom type brands when it comes to products that they buy, man. Not saying that's the whole entire country unless you got bread. You know what I mean? Because most of the cars out here are from the 70s. Like I'm not even exaggerating. Like I could probably count on one hand how many modern 2000 and up cars that I've seen in this whole entire time that I've been here. Punch buggies, you know what I mean? Stingrays. Now I'm not a car enthusiast, so I don't know all the names, but these are the type of cars that are on the road like on the regular. You know what I mean? Like I seen one BMW. I think one Kia. I think that's about it, man. Everything else straight old school, man. And another thing I noticed about the people have no problem working, putting that work in. It's almost like they know that they have to contribute to the society in order for things to keep moving. In addition to that, I also noticed like the same thing like any other Caribbean country. You got people chilling on the side, kind of just having time pass by, but at the same time, I see no anger in their eyes, no frustration, none of that stuff, man. It seems like they just it's not just passing through life. It's almost like they're more relaxed. They're more relaxed than people who I know make over six figures. You know what I'm saying? And there's a gem in that I don't know how to verbalize yet, but there's something about that you got people in New York, they got a house, car, making six figures, but dude is always mad. Dude is always aggy. Like, what you got to do here, all he got is 3 beers for the day, maybe 2 potatoes. The son is chilling, playing dominoes, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up with his mans all day. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to that right there. You know what I mean? That's a different level of happiness that people in America, I don't even believe know how to experience, man, because in America, it's all about the rat race, the crab in the bucket, the I gotta look better than the Joneses, you know what I mean, the facade, the mask and all that. Out here, there ain't none of that. You know why? You know why I believe there's no racism? Everybody's on the same page. Your fam, everybody's making the same bread. You make 20, you make 20, you make 20, he make 20. I don't care what you do. We all making 20. Now what? Now what? You understand? That shit evens the playing field. It ain't about how look at me. I have the nice Benz and you still driving the. Nah, we all in the same boat, same page, man. So I think that's why it helps the people kind of be on one accord. Like I see the darks with the lights, with the. It don't matter. Yo, that's one thing I didn't say yet, man. The people here it's such a variety. When I say variety, you'll have, and I'm talking male and female. You'll have a curly haired person, light skin with green eyes, or you'll have, you know, you're really dark, jet black, you know, Cuban, or you'll have, you know, your red bone who's not too red bone with the dark hair. Like they have everything here. Whatever type of thing you're looking for, it's out here, man. Oh my God, man. And again, I have to emphasize that it keeps coming to my head. They are so friendly. They're family oriented. I've never been to a place that's this family oriented. Like it's super family oriented, man. I mean, one of the chicks I met, she's talking about she lived with her grandmother. Go ahead. You gonna say something, Eddie?
No, I was gonna say you sound like you really love Cuba, man. One thing I
Yeah.
learned though in my traveling is that when I first get to a place, all I see is the heaven. But after
Mm,
spending a few weeks there, then I start
mm.
to see the hell.
Got you.
It usually
Got
takes about 3 weeks to a month for me to start seeing the hell. Then you start seeing like, all right, like there's some other shit here
you.
too
Yeah, yeah,
that I
yeah.
was
Absolutely.
blind to when I first got here.
Mm-hmm. Now I can agree with that 100% because what I said earlier was this trip, right? This being my first trip, this is the recon. This is just to see, okay, let me see what things look like. The next time I go, because I have an idea, like what you said, now I'm gonna look for what are you guys hiding? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, you know,
What happened? You there?
He
My
froze
connection
up.
dropped. I don't know if you guys asked me something.
Yeah, it's froze up.
It's all good. What's going on with you, LJ? You've been quiet.
What you eating, Avi? Avi in the background eating
I'm
dinner and
soaking
shit,
it
not
all
saying
in.
nothing.
I'm soaking it all.
Man, I'm eating some fucking Tim's jalapeno chips.
I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
Can't do it. I would say I seen this. I mean, well, it's off topic, so anyway. But yeah, I'm just chilling, man. I seen a good movie yesterday. I know you seen that The Black Godfather. Did you guys see that movie on Netflix?
Nah, I never seen that.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I've seen the movie. I didn't watch it though.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I think I think it's so much game in there, man. It's so much game. If we think about game, like I said, we always say game, think about women. This dude was so strategic in moving people in certain directions to get things done. That's a part with a ninth grade education. So it's pretty interesting. Good. It's a little long, but it was real good how well connected he was and how to navigate people from one to get things done, from presidents to music executives to people down the street, how he moves stuff around just with a ninth grade education. It's quite interesting. Clarence Avant. So it's a pretty good movie.
Foreign movie, right?
It's not a movie, it's more of a like a documentary more of.
Well, where's it set at?
What, say that again?
Where's the movie set at?
Well, it was more of a documentary. It was just giving an excerpt of his life. So it got people coming in like Snoop, President Obama, Clinton, this one and that one, and this one, whoever else. Everybody saying how well connected this person was. But what was the key thing? I think that was so important is that he spoke his truth. He would cuss you out. He didn't care who you were.
I gotta check that one out.
Yeah,
I seen some stuff I just be putting on the checklist and I forget to go back to it.
yeah, it's good. It's really good. I think I look at it. I look at, like I said, most people just focus on the game on just women. I don't know. How can you use this strategically to move things around you to get to where you need to be and get things done? That's, to me, is game strategy, getting to the next level.
Facts. What the hell?
I think Red Pill might have connection went on. But Eddie, how's it going, man?
Everything good, man. I just came back from Lombok, which is an island next to Bali. I met a chick out here that flew us out there. Um, I came back home with an arm full of bracelets. They got these little kids. They all selling these little bracelets. I got scammed for about 15 bracelets. I came back with an arm full of bracelets, man. These kids, every one of them had a new scheme. They knew English fluently. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 year old kids knew English fluently, better than me. Scamming me. They all got a new scam. A kid, we went to this restaurant. Well, first of all, as soon as I got there, I wanted to stop by the supermarket to get some groceries before we got to the home we were staying at. So outside the supermarket is these 3 little girls sitting at a round table. They're all Muslims, so they all got on their hijabs. They're about 5 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. The oldest one couldn't have been older than 10 years old. So as soon as the girl see me, her eyes light up. And she run over to me. She's like, "Hey, you want to buy some bracelets from me?" And yeah, let me go in the supermarket. When I come out, I come back out and check and see what you got. I go to the supermarket. Every time the window, because she's outside, she's just smiling at me, waiting with the cutest little smile in the world, just waiting, smiling at me. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I gotta buy a bracelet from her. So I go back outside with my groceries. She starts showing me her bracelets, and I buy one from her. And all the 2 little girls with her start crying, literally crying, like tears start rolling down. And then they look at me, and I'm like, what? They're like, you didn't buy one from us. Like, they cried on cue. Like, they both started crying at the same time. Like, they was taught this. They was trained how to do this. So they start crying, looking at me crying. So I bought bracelets from them too, and because I felt so bad, I overpaid for them. I gave them 100,000 rupiah for each bracelet. The bracelets probably only cost 5,000 rupiah, but all I had was $100,000 bills in my pocket. And because I gave the first little girl 100,000 for the bracelet she gave me, I had to give them all the same thing. Otherwise, they would have kept crying. So the next day we go to a restaurant, and I'm like, we go to a restaurant, I'm eating my food with the chick I'm with, and a girl walks in with more bracelets into the restaurant. And I look at the girl in my head, I'm like, I ain't buying no more fucking bracelets. I done paid 300 rupiah for 3 bracelets yesterday. I ain't buying no more damn bracelets. You know what I'm saying? And I look at the chick I'm with, and I look at her, I'm like, yo, we not buying no more bracelets. Like, that's it. So then I'm eating my food. She's not eating because she's not hungry. But so the girl's talking to her in Indonesian. They're both talking Indonesian. And I see the girl just breaking her down. The girl is making sad faces, breaking her down. Next thing you know, she pulls her money out. She starts buying bracelets. Right? So she buys some bracelets, and I'm like, damn, they made you buy bracelets. I ain't buying no more bracelets. So the girl leaves, and then a little boy walks right into the restaurant I'm at. And he looks at me with a frown on his face, He's like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from New York City. He's like, oh, America. Okay, Washington, D.C. is the capital, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. He's like, how are you doing today? I'm like, I'm good. And he's like, you want to buy some bracelets from me? And I'm like, yo, listen, you see my arm? I done bought 3 bracelets yesterday. He's like, come on, please, come on, please. You buy from girl, right? You buy from girl. Yeah, guys, they always buy from the girl. They treat the boys more harshly. The girls sell bracelets easy. The boys, we have to struggle for food. We have to struggle for food here. And I'm like, and I look at the girl. I'm like, you know what? He's right. I'm always so hard on the guys. I never want to buy from guys. You know what I mean? If a little girl try to sell me something, I'll buy it because it's a cute little girl. But the boy, I'm like, man, I ain't buying shit from him. So I'm gonna buy bracelets from this boy because I always treat boys unfairly, and that's not right. You know what I mean? So next thing you know, I buy another bracelet. So he's happy. You know what I mean? Another 100,000. That's all I had. No, I had 70,000 is what I had. I had 70,000 left on. Gave him 70,000. He leave. Then as soon as he leave, another little boy walks in, a little older than him.
Damn.
Like 30 seconds after he leaves, a boy a little older than him walks in. 30 seconds after, he looks at me. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, where are you from? I'm like, New York in America. He's like, oh, Washington D.C. is the capital.
Game.
He's like, Washington D.C. is the capital. I'm like, yo, your man just came in here saying that. I'm like, your boy just came in here saying the exact same thing.
He already spit that line.
And then he's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah, this little game y'all running high. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, how about this? 'Cause I know I want to sell you bracelets, but how about this? I know you don't want to buy because you just bought bracelets from the little girl that came in here and this guy. But how about this? If you can name any 3 countries, if I'm the capital of that country, you buy a bracelet. If I get them all 3 right, just name any 3 random countries in the world. Wow. So I get on my phone on Google and find the most small little countries
said he went on Google
that I could find in the entire world.
Right.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you good.
No, go ahead.
Shit, my connection's fucking up, I think.
We can hear you clear.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly clear, man.
All right, bet. All right, so he's like, all right, he's like, how about this? Since I want to sell you bracelets, I don't want to try to trick you or sell you. How about this? How about you pick 3 random countries, and after you pick these 3 countries, if I know the capital of these countries, you buy a bracelet from me. So I'm like, you know what? I bet. So I get on my phone, I look on Google, and I find the 3 most smallest countries that I could find, and one in Africa, one in South America, the 3 most countries that I don't think nobody would know. I named each of those countries. This motherfucker knew the capital of each fucking country I named with easily. Knew the capital of the country. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck, I gotta buy another bracelet.
Exactly.
Now,
Damn.
all I had on my the smallest bill I had in my wallet was 50,000. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna give you 50,000. That's it. He's like 60,000. Come on. He's like 70,000. I'm like, nah, I'm only 50,000. That's all I got. He's like, no, 60. Come on, 60. Come on. I'm like, nah, 50,000. He's like, all right, let's play rock paper scissors. If I win, you give me 60,000. If I win.
Oh man.
So I play rock paper scissors with him. I'm like, at this point, I'm laughing. Like, it's entertainment while I'm at dinner. Yeah. So I play rock paper scissors with him. You know, but I know how to read people's eyes on rock paper scissors. Like I know what you're gonna play. I can feel your spirit. I won rock paper scissors every single time. So I beat him 3 times in a row straight. Like I beat everybody. But then I just gave him the 50,000. You know, but what happened was when I first bought the bracelet, they sent the little girl in first. They sent a cute little girl in first. We buy from her. And then they like, all right, we got a sucker, you know. So they send the rest of the crew to come get the sucker, you know. Then they send the next boy in there, the younger boy. You know, like, all right, if he buy. Then they send the older boy because it's harder to buy from him. But he got all the game, you know. The young kids got the cuteness. So I came home with an arm full of bracelets that I don't want. And shit, mad as a motherfucker. But they got me.
Serious game.
But hey, you got a story to tell out of it, man. Big word.
Yeah. That's the good side of it. Right. I ain't buying no more bracelets, so I'm gonna tell you that right now. One thing, I said that shit 6 times, and I bought a new bracelet every time I said that shit.
Hey, yo, Eddie, I don't know if you heard the part where I was like, yo, hold on one second, Shorty making mad noise. Hold on one second. I'll say it in a second.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. They got you. Eddie, they run some serious game.
Yo, Eddie, what I was saying before about the traveling is, make sure that you have small denominations for situations like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many times that happened to me, it'd be like, let's say 10,000, whatever, and I only got 50 on me. And it's, I don't have enough change for that. Okay, you have to go 3 blocks there to get that and to come back. I'm like, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah, they love hitting you with that. I don't got no change. You got change. They love hitting you with that. I'm so sorry, so I don't have change for this bill.
Yep. So just have a whole bunch of small denominations,
they
man.
Love to hit you with that. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what were you talking about? Talking about? What country were you talking about with that story?
I'm still. It was just Lombok. It's still Indonesia, but it's a bunch of little islands out here. So it's just an island about a 5-hour boat ride. But we took a plane. It was like a 45-minute plane.
There we go.
Away from Bali.
You say you vacationed there or you moved there?
No, I just went there for a chick flew us out there for the weekend that I met out here. I met this fly chick out here. She owned a bunch of nail salons out here.
Yo, can you pause real quick? We like to let things breathe over here. Did you say that a chick flew you out?
She flew us out. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
team thing. I
Oh, okay,
paid for
okay.
the villa. She bought us the flights. You know what I mean? It was a
Okay,
team
got you,
thing,
got
but
you. Okay,
I told her if she buy the flights, I'll take care of the home.
there we go. I like that. I fucks
But
with
you know,
that.
she flies. She own a chain of nail salons out here in Bali.
Mm. Word.
You know,
Getting it in with the big players, the big chip players.
So let me ask both of you guys this. So since you guys been traveling, what has changed inside of you since you've been traveling to these different countries?
Go ahead, Eddie.
I want to marinate on that for a couple seconds before I just answer, because I'm
What
trying to like really like. Go ahead.
Lawrence, you said what have I? Can you rephrase it again? Can you say that again one more time?
So since you guys been traveling, what inside of you has changed since you have been traveling? If you look at the first time you stepped into a country versus to where you're at now, what has changed inside of you?
Great question. Before I started traveling, especially as much as I am now, before I really felt like I was American. I mean, I'm from America. I was born in America. I'm American. But I never tell people I'm American. If people ask, I say I'm Haitian. You know what I mean? Because that's my culture. But from all these travels, my culture is still Haitian, but I don't feel American. I know globalist is not the right word, but I feel like the, the world is my oyster. There's no place I shouldn't be able to go. There's no place I shouldn't be able to, connect with the people. So that's why I don't think small anymore. I don't think like that's why stress stuff back at home doesn't stress me. Like I'm thinking like the bigger picture. Like I'm having goals of moving out the country, and doing things like that. Like people are worried about, still worried about, I don't know, like, a girlfriend talking, to their ex too much or something like that. Like I don't have time for that. So my traveling has broadened my perception of life. My life isn't just America. My life isn't even just the Western Hemisphere. So it's broadened my view on almost, I would say, everything: education, food, culture. Like it's like again, I'm starting to lose words, but to shorten the short and dirty answer, it's opened my mind. It's made it larger. Like I actually think
Right.
about going to Africa now. Like before, I would never. I could think about going to Africa, but when I have these thoughts now, it's a real, like, oh, I'm like next year I'm going to Brazil. Like I didn't say I think I'm going. I don't know if this might happen. No, I'm going to Brazil next year. Like, and I need to experience that. Like most people think like, oh, he's going there for the bitches and all that. No, they also have culture out there also. I mean, I'm
Right.
going to prison for the culture, man. Yo, bitches are everywhere. If you go to a place and your focus or your one of the top three priorities is the female, nah, bro, you off. You off, man. But that's my short and dirty answer.
What I'll say is that I 100% agree with Red Pill. Um, one thing, real quick though, like I'm in Indonesia, so they don't know that Black Americans were ever enslaved over here. Indonesia is the
What?
fourth. Indonesia is the fourth biggest country in the world, 400 million people here, and they're not taught that Black Americans were ever enslaved in their history. I was watching Django with a chick out here, and it blew her mind. And then because I told her
What?
like, this is what we went through. She couldn't believe that that was even a thing that possibly happened.
Wowzers.
Like they're not taught that. And she's college educated out here. She got her, her little bachelor's degree.
I'm gonna
And they
piggyback
don't
on that
know
when you're
that
done with
Black
your
American.
answer. Go ahead.
So they're not looking at you like you used to be oppressed. You're just an American, pretty much. There's a color hierarchy. Don't get me wrong. Like they do put the paler people. They do look at them better, but they don't look at you like a slave. They look at you like a dark Indonesian, I guess. But what I will say is, I'm from New York City, so I've been a diehard New Yorker my whole life. New York Knicks fan, New York
Mm,
Yankee fan. I've been New York my whole life. So, and I've always felt a loyalty to New York. And I always thought New York was the best place in the entire world. I never wanted to go anywhere else. Like I was in New York. Then I went to Hong Kong. Hong Kong has 5 times as many skyscrapers as New York City, and five
mm,
times as many people. And they don't give a fuck about no New York. They don't give a
mm,
fuck about no America. They ain't thinking about no America. I was talking to some of the cab drivers, some of the people, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm from America." I was like, "You ever wanted to come?" They're like, "Nah, I never wanted to go there. I wanted to go to this place. I wanted to go to that place, but nah, I ain't never wanted to go to America. I never thought
mm,
about it. They ain't
mm,
even thinking about us over here, and that's a
mm,
billion people over there that ain't even. They don't give two fucks about us or what we doing. They
mm,
just they don't care. And so it really made me a global citizen, like Red Pill was saying, where it's like I lost that New Yorker thing where it's just like there's really more out here in the world, and New York ain't the best place to be. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's a great place to visit, to see, to check out. It's a dope city, but there's other shit going on out here in the world too. And New York don't stop or control it. Like it don't mean nothing to other areas of the world. And so it freed my mind almost, you know. And I don't miss New York at all. And I was like, I love New York.
What you say? You came back for a week and went right back.
All right, I don't miss New York at all, man.
Hey, word, hey, yo, to piggyback what you said earlier about you know, the Indonesian not knowing about the history of racism in America. That's another thing I've been doing recently. Is actually the last couple times I went to Colombia, I was asking the Colombians like, yo, what's your thoughts on America? Like, what do you know about America? These are questions I've never asked foreigners because I don't know. I guess I assume that they know what's going on, but one of the Colombians said something to me that made me look at him like, yo, bro, what you talking about? He's like, yeah, you know, it's this and that. I'm like, you talking about America? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, my man, America has a lot of racism in it. You understand racism, right? He's like, yeah, I understand racism. He's like, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of racism in America. I was like, there's poor people in America. You know that, right? He's like, nah, no way. I'm like, yo, are you serious? He's like, I didn't believe there's poor people in America. Like they have the mentality that the roads are paved in gold. Like literally, not literally. I don't want to say literally, but that's the mentality. They believe that 80% of Americans are rich. You know what I mean? Nobody's poor. Everybody's educated. You know what I mean? So, and that's why at least the Colombians that I spoke to, they want to come to America. And they feel like once they come to America, it's going to be money, 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 money. But what I told them now, it's going to be work, 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 work. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be working for less than what you're doing right now. Let me say that differently. They're going to be working more for less. You know what I mean? Especially coming as an immigrant, not being able to speak the language. But what I learned, or what I've started to do is, when I go out the country, I try to tell them what's actually going on in America because it's vice versa. The same way they have propaganda for the country that you're about to go to is the same way they have propaganda in that country, or propaganda or lack of information about America. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that still believe America is great. America is, you know, the best of the best. Like they don't even know about blacks getting shot in the street by police. That shit is a shock to them when I tell them that, man. So a lot of information is held from the rest of the world. Put it like that. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
Nah, like on the western side of the world, whether you're in the north or the south, they want to come to America. I will say that. On the eastern side of the world, they're not thinking about it. You know, they're not thinking about it over here. And this is the majority of the world population is on this side. You
I
got
agree.
China with 1.3 billion, India with 1.1 billion, Indonesia with 400 million. You know, so the majority of the people are over here. But yeah,
So with those two explanations that you both gave, how do you think your family and friends view you since you made these endeavors of traveling? You think has it changed, or have they been like, you know what, they shun you, or they think you crazy, or they think, oh, that's good, you're doing that?
Well,
but there's a
go ahead.
Go ahead, Red Pill. No, go ahead.
No, not so good. I got a short and dirty answer. The only person that's still rocking me like that when it comes to these trips is like, you know, my friend who I've known for almost 30 years now. Everybody else, it's almost like nothing verbally has been said to me, but it's almost like people, some of my friends that I've known or associated with, they kind of look at me like I think I'm better than them. You know what I'm saying? Because I travel now, I speak a new language. You know what I'm saying? When I speak about my travels. It's almost like, you know, I peep that. Like when you talk about, I mean, just when I'm home in New York, when I talk about positive things, good things, it's almost like people either want to compete and be like, oh, well, you went to Colombia, well, I went to, you know, Atlantic City. It's like, why we doing this? Why we going back and forth? Like, I'm just telling you what I did, or like I said, they think you better because they're like, there's some people, especially in New York, there's some people who barely left their borough. Okay, so when you come in talking about, y'all been here, I've been there, here's some pictures, this and that, they look at you like, oh, you think you better than me? So that's kind of what I've gotten, man. Or if it's not that, then it's just dudes just want to know, show me the bitches, show me the bitches, show me the bitches, where the bitches at, where the bitches at. And I've always been a dude like, the only reason I take pictures now is because I'm fucking on YouTube. Before that, I don't take no pictures. I don't take no video. People be like, yo, we don't take yourself fucking and all that. For what? I was there. I remember it. Like, I don't have to re-see it again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Actually
that's
seen a
what's going on.
study that said people remember things 20% less when they record it.
Boom, boom.
I seen a study that said that food tastes food tastes like 30% less good when you take a picture of it before eating it.
Ooh.
So it's like
Wow.
all this stuff we're doing to preserve these moments is taking away from the actual experiences. So you're not even
Mm.
really enjoying yourself the way you would have because you're trying to preserve it so you can
Mm.
enjoy it again at another time. So you kind of just you have to keep revisiting these pictures
Right.
to get all the enjoyment you would have gotten had you just never took a photo.
Mm. That's a gem right there. I hope everybody heard that gem. Cause what I be telling dudes, I'm like, yo, so you telling me you dealing with this shit, you in the middle doing whatever you're doing, you gonna stop to be like, yo, hold on, let me get my phone, or be on some creep shit and set it up like what we doing? Like now now I will admit, you know what I'm saying, as some of y'all seen from my DR joint, there was a chick that literally asked me to pull my camera out. That wasn't my idea. Hey, what can I do, man? You know what I'm saying? I have to, she asked me, she received. Wasn't my idea.
Now I've had girls do that to me, ask me to record them. I've definitely seen that a few times. I've
Word.
definitely had that a couple
I ain't
times
gonna lie.
happen.
I ain't gonna lie, Eddie. That's new to me. Like I'm not used to chicks looking.
Yeah.
Yo, chick literally looked at me like, come on, like you're not gonna put your camera out yet. Like, I've been doing this for. I'm looking like, oh, okay.
But I think they understand men though. They're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it to
Mm,
satisfy something in us that would make us, because sometimes guys get that thing where they want to record it so they could be able to have this memory, right?
mm,
And I think they understand that male ego thing, so they're trying to just do something to cater to you more. Like, so you can say, "Oh, this
mm,
bitch let me record her," and it just makes you more open over them. I think that's why they do it. But
mm,
what I was
I
about
agree.
with Lawrence's question is, like I've always hid my traveling, right? When I where I was from, because like I'm from the hood,
mm-hmm.
and whenever I traveled, I always make sure I leave 4 a.m., 3 a.m. because I know how it is. I know how people get
They
when
watching.
you,
Right.
yeah, they looking. They're like, oh, oh, he, you know what I mean? They
Yep.
feel like you leaving them.
Yep.
They feel like you leaving them. You know what I'm saying? Like you, even if they don't know you, just you leaving.
Like
You about to escape. You feel me?
I said, would you say a more appropriate word would be abandoned? Like they feel like you're abandoning them?
Yes, yes. And but you escaping the gut. You're escaping the bucket. You know what
Yep.
I mean? You
Yes.
getting
Yes.
out the bucket. We got to pull you back into the bucket. Like where you
Mm,
think you
mm,
going?
mm,
You know.
That's a
But
great way to put it, man.
But that's the thing about people, right? They want you to go, but they don't want you to leave. So
Mm,
that's how people are. It's like the helium balloon thing. They don't mind if you float above them a little bit, but they ain't never gonna let the balloon go. You know what I mean? They
mm,
ain't never gonna let the balloon just float off into the sky.
mm.
Um, but yeah, but I don't. I mean, there's some. I don't want to say there's no just jealousy, but I kind of feel bad a little bit because some of my family members they see me doing all these things, and their lives ain't as happy. So they text me or message me with a lot of dissatisfaction with their own life, and it's like
Mm,
I feel a
mm.
little bad about it. But I would say there's a lot of ignorance out there because like when I first was leaving for Indonesia, like my pops or my sister, they thought I was going to some jungle somewhere where there's no civilization. Like they ain't know nothing about Indonesia. You know what I mean? There's Burger Kings, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chickens, Domino's pizzas, and everything like that. Like you got in America right here. H&M's, malls.
Word?
And yeah, I was in H&M the other day looking for some shades real quick before I went to the beach.
Wow. Word. Mm.
Yeah, so that.
So the reason why I asked those questions because I think it gives insight to you into you guys and also to the people who are listening or go back and listening to get them to travel. I remember just me living in another city, another state actually, and how the energy was when I came back to my home area, how people viewed me. I didn't even see a change, but there was a change that took place because I experienced something that wasn't that wasn't on the block or was the norm or what everybody else was doing, going to the same bars, seeing the
Mhm.
same people you graduated with, went to high school with, your mama's people, your father's people. So there's a different energy that emanates from you. That's what I wanted
Yeah.
to get at.
That's yeah. That's def. But it also makes you feel like you can't be there though. Like it feels like
Yeah.
all right, you got to get out though. You got to get out of here because there's that difference there. Like
Mm-hmm.
people know when you're doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
there's a
palpable.
vibration. Yeah, there's something called horizontal gene transfer. But I mean, but there's so many different things. Even the frequency that your body's giving off is different, right? The thought waves and brain waves that you're giving off is different. And people don't consciously know that they're picking up on new brain waves, but they just get those emotions and feelings towards you. They don't know where it's coming from, and they start shifting their energy towards you. So that's definitely a real thing. That's definitely a real thing.
It's interesting because I'm like I said, I lived in Atlanta for a while, and the reason why I bring this up, and I came back just to visit my sons, and I went to one of the local in the hood bars, and I'm like, why am I even here? I walked in, and one of my classmates was like, "Oh my God, what you think you Denzel watching up in here? Who you think you are, man? You think you all this?" I'm like, "What are you
Yep.
talking about?
Yep.
I just came to give you grip and show you love." And
Right.
I realized I didn't understand it at first. I realized I'm not the same person from grade school to graduation with, and I'm not the same person who's not in the same industry pattern that's in this area, but I have transcended that into another energy pattern. So that's the reason why I asked you guys that and how that affected you and how you felt about it and what you thought about it.
But it's the same thing as out of town energy, right? When you go to another city, it's easier to get women because you got a different vibe and energy.
Yes.
You know, you coming
Yes.
from a different place.
Yes.
And so you come back from your vacation or from your new state with out of town energy, you know.
Mm.
But if somebody know you, they remember you as having the same energy. So who do you think you are with this new energy?
Mm.
You know, when you from here, like how dare you almost? They don't understand it.
Yeah, I have to agree with that 100% because you got me thinking now. Like this energy for me actually started when I was like 17, 18. Because when I was 17, 18, I was the only, nah, yeah, 17, 18, because I was one of the only people in my crew that actually went away to college. Everybody stayed home, community college or not no college at all. So I'm coming back and forth from away from school. And the longer I stayed away from school, the more I came back home, I felt the energy changing. And in addition to that, when I was away at college, that's when I started to travel. All right, when I went to away to college, that's the first time I was away from family, friends. I had no family and friends in Pennsylvania, and I was meeting new people from different states. I mean, I give you the story how I met some chicks from D.C., Maryland, whatever. They were mad hospitable. But me being from New York, where there's a lot of masculine chicks, I'm thinking, oh, these chicks want me. I'm in the bag. But I realized, like, no, that's the way they are normally. You know what I'm saying? So that gave me the first idea how things are not everywhere. It's like New York. Then I started, traveling to, different states while I was away from home. It's not like I was in the home with mommy and daddy, asking them for permission to travel here and there. I would just up and go. You know what I mean? And then when I would come back to New York and tell them about my travels from being out of state, I'm saying, coming from out of state to going to different places, you could tell like you would I would hope, what I'm saying, my friends would have been like, oh, that's what's up, something in along that line, like that's what's up. I'm thinking about doing the same, or I can understand why you're doing that, but more so was like, I don't want to go there. Why would you want to go there for? It ain't like New York. They ain't no cabs there. They ain't got no subways. It's like, yo, bro, everywhere don't gotta be like New York. So I've been experiencing that since college. But once I started getting my passport tatted, yeah, that shit. I wouldn't say I lost friends, but I would even say I lost friends. I evolved into a person where we don't vibe on the same energy no more. I mean, we could still maybe chop it up a little bit, what I'm saying, because we have that history. But as far as like really, building, nah, bro, you gotta, I don't want to say get to my level, but you gotta, you have to go through some experiences also to understand why I talk the way that I talk.
And
I remember wanting.
that's
I remember.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Alfie.
Wow, that was a good flip. That's it.
No,
Yo,
I
you,
remember
yo, you
one.
good, Alpha? You eating something, Alpha? You good?
He got something else now. He sound like he
Yeah,
he
yeah.
in a
You busy,
hoagie.
huh? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Continue doing what you was doing, man.
Now I remember growing up and like wanting all my friends to move away. You know,
Mm,
just because I felt like they were holding me back. You know,
mm,
and I had so much love for my friends that I didn't want to tell them like I can't fuck with you no more. Because it's not like they're doing anything wrong. They're just not
right.
living their life at the level that I want to live mine.
Correct.
You know, but they still show me love. They still there for me. They still loyal to me. So how do I tell them I don't want to fuck with you guys no more when they still good friends?
Right.
But I just, just you are the people you surround yourself with. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like them, you know. And I remember wanting them to move away, and eventually all my friends moved out of New York to the
Mm,
point where I didn't have no friends anymore. They all moved
mm,
away. My boy JP moved to Seattle. My boy Josh moved to Portland. I got my boy Alex moved to LA. they all moved out. You know,
Wow,
like I got
they
what
went
I
to the left
wanted.
coast.
You know, yeah, I got what I wanted. Then I slowly started elevating. You know, once they all moved away, I started rising to the place that I am now. You know, I slowly just started lifting from where I was. You
Yo,
know,
they
and
might.
people
Go ahead.
know, not just this is just some game for the people listening. You know, if you got friends that are holding you back, you know, it's like because it's hard to be loyal to somebody and love somebody, but at the same time still have to let them go.
Mm.
You know, that's a very challenging thing to do. You got to be strong to do that, but you know when somebody holding you back. So if you have friends holding you back, it's best to let them go, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hey, yo, I think you made a great point. What you said, like, once your friends moved away, you were there dolo. You started to elevate, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what I said when I went to college. I had no family, none of my long term friends, none of that. So I was literally in a new state, new school, new everything, fresh, brand new, no nothing, not knowing anything, not knowing anyone. And I thinking back, that's when my life changed. And that's when I started being like, oh, like I'm out here dolo. Like I gotta get like. Long story short, there was a point in my sophomore year, man. Uh, let's just say I was playing street pharmacist in my first year, my first semester sophomore year. Is playing street pharmacist, which got my grades to a BFF. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean best friends forever. And that was the first time I failed the class. But I say that to say the next year or the following semester, you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to live off campus for the first time, and some Jewish dude just took my deposit, and I end up, you know what I'm saying, being homeless for like 2 months. But that was like because I really didn't have my friends and family for the first year or two. When there was a situation where I had to be, where I had to, deal with being homeless whatever, while still going to school, I took that shit on the chin like no problem. It was to me, it wasn't even an option to move back home. It was like, nah, I've been to myself, I'm out here, I'm in Philly, I'm out here to get it. So like I said, the semester before was a BFF. When I was homeless, and when I say homeless, I say like I was sleeping on park benches. I mean, excuse me, in front of the dorm room benches. Some of my peoples, let me sleep in their room from time to time. But that
Damn.
particular semester, yeah, but that
That's
particular
that's that's
semester,
all the way. That's all the way. Most people when they say that they mean just sleeping at their friend's house.
nah, I was outside. And I was
Hey,
outside.
that's
Yeah,
real.
I was outside, fam. So and mind you, most people on campus didn't even really realize it. You know what I mean, certain people would be like, yo, so I think I seen you on the bed. Was that you on the bench? I was like, yeah, that was me. But they don't think no much more of it. They probably was like, oh, you probably just chilling, whatever. But now I was on the bench. But anyway, I say that to say that's the best grades I got all out of all my years in college. Was when I was homeless. And that's when I learned, like, yo, you gotta first of all, being homeless let you know who's your peoples, who's not your peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like every chick I was dealing with fell to the wayside. Not by my doing. They just fell to the wayside. That's when I realized, like, oh, that's when I started realizing or confirming, yo, bitches really ain't shit, man. Like you'll know who's for you when you know what I'm saying, when you in times like the way I was there. So the people that held me down with their rooms from time to time, let me keep my clothes in their closet. I'm still cool with them today. And that happened about, let me see, that was 2002. So we're talking like 17 years ago, and I'm still cool with these people. But I say all that to say, when you separate from the people that you were raised with, that you were reared with, like I'm saying, the people you knew from kindergarten, fifth grade, you know what I'm saying, high school, you got to realize not everybody is even aspiring to elevate past their way of thinking, past high school. Like what I tell people all the time is, every 3 years I'm a different person. Like, what you mean? I'm like, I don't mean
Mhm.
literally, but I'm learning, I'm attaining knowledge, so I cannot be the same person I was 3 years ago. Like I'm elevating. My knowledge is different. I have a different perspective on what I thought was. But there's other people who are just comfortable with what they know. Like, huh? That means you're still stuck. Like, for lack of a better term, you're still stuck on stupid. Seek knowledge, man. But if you have somebody you're cool with that you know for 20 years, 25 years, you seeking knowledge and he doesn't, there's gonna be a disconnect, man, eventually. And that person gonna look
Let
at you like you think you better.
let me bring this in. So when Alfie and I was in Toronto, and this is a question to pose at the end of this. Alfie and I was in Toronto. We noticed something happened. We were able to manifest so fast. It was quick. We would say something, and within hours or within a few minutes, it happened. So since you guys have been on these, both you've been on these journeys, have what you've been able to manifest, has it taken on a faster form versus when it taken a slower form than when you were at?
Hell yeah, because your energy is higher. When I first landed in Bali that month, I quadrupled my income of the previous month
Mm.
just without doing nothing different. It just things just kind of just happen, you know.
Mm.
So it's just it's once your energy's on a high, your energy's heightened. You know what I mean? You already you just manifested something,
Mm.
right? You being in a new country is a manifestation of that's something you attracted to yourself that you wanted to do. So the best time to manifest anything is in the midst of what you've already manifested.
Mm.
It's like when you're
Mm.
already on that wave. So you use that energy as strong as possible, you know. Like I'm going to
That,
Malaysia on Friday. I know the best time to do my visualizations as soon as I land in Malaysia. While some
mm.
people looking around enjoying the tourist things when they first get there, I'm looking around a little bit, but I'm visualizing while I'm
Mm.
walking around because that's when my energy's at its highest point. I'll do the tourist shit in 2-3 more days,
Mm.
you know, after I come down a little bit. But I'm gonna use this high to further the next thing.
I agree with Eddie 100%, man. The when you the energy's so high, like you're right. When you visualize and you send that intention to the universe, it comes much quicker. So, for example, I remember last year, I think whatever last trip I came from in 2018. Wow, hold on, it just came to me. All right, in 2018, I was telling my friends, I said, look, man, whatever traveling you need to do that in 2019. Cause I have a feeling like, I don't know if Trump is gonna, he acting crazy. He might take people's passports away, whatever. But all I know is I'm gonna try to do as much traveling as I can in 2019. So I started envisioning all the places that I wanted to go, this and the third. And we in June now, and I've been out the country 5 times so far this year. But I bring up last year as far as visualization and all that. Guess what happened with Cuba? Didn't Trump recently basically say, didn't, for lack of a better phrase, Trump took the passports from people who want to go to Cuba. I'm still in Cuba. I'm still here in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that because I visualized it and had the energy to back it up, that's the reason why, even though the president of the United States says nobody can come to Cuba, I'm doing a live podcast with my dudes from Cuba.
I hear. Hey, real quick, let me excuse me, get I see you tried Ben on Giants comics because it's pretty good. He says I bought a house and lost friends. People fell off. My conversation changed and they couldn't relate. This is true. I'm talking about buying rental properties, rentals to put Airbnb and they ain't there
Mm,
mentally. Facts. No shots at them, but I'm elevating and kicking in with people who's used to owning property. See?
mm. That's another thing Eddie said that I like. He said you got to be aware of the people that you surround yourself with. That's 100%. One of the things I've heard before someone say is if you're in a room, what the fuck is that? My bad, yo. I just seen a wild creature. Yo, they got like what do you call it? Not snow crabs. They got some type of crazy crabs out here, man. That be walking like anyway. I gotta be vigilant. Anyway, what I was saying was you gotta watch who you surround yourself with. And a saying that I've heard, which stuck with me is, if you're in a room and you're the smartest person, you're in the wrong room. For a lot of people that go over their heads. But it's true. If you're in a room and you're the smartest person, what you doing in there? Unless you're the teacher of the class, why are you in there? What are you learning? What are you getting from that? What's your ROI? Your return on investment, man. So
Yeah.
be wary of the people around you, man. Make sure you're learning from the people around you.
Or even just the most accomplished in the room, because it's one thing to be like, because intelligence ain't gonna get you anything really. It's
Mm,
just a tool that you can
mm,
use, but it's people that's not intelligent that can get things done, that can accomplish things, that can still
mm,
manifest their dreams and desires. Intelligence is a gift, but there's other gifts and talents as well that you can use just as successfully as someone could use their intelligence to get what they want.
mm,
So it's a little overrated. I think to be smart is a little overrated.
mm,
I've seen dumb people that are cool, that knew how to be cool and had personal and people skills get much further than some of the smartest people I know. I know there's a lot of intelligent people that are really broke.
mm, mm,
So I do think intelligence is overrated. But I would say if you're the most accomplished person in the room, you don't want to be in a room where you're the most accomplished person. You should always be in conversations and talks with people that have
mm,
accomplished more than you have.
mm,
You know?
mm. I agree. Because I was gonna say intelligence doesn't necessarily mean common sense. That's
Right,
what
right.
that's one thing people always assume. Everybody has common sense. Nah, common sense ain't common.
So
And
Hey
yeah,
you,
some
yo,
The smartest people you'll know is somebody that's in the hood sitting on a stoop drinking a 40.
Fact.
One of the
Facts.
smartest people you'll ever talk to,
Mm-hmm.
but he ain't never gonna
Yep.
get nothing done. So what's it all
Mm.
for?
Mm. Yeah, I'm thinking some people now that I know back in my spot. I could chop it up all day with dude, but dude be on just on the block, just like you said, just smoking it up, drinking whatever.
Right,
But,
right.
he can hold a conversation, and he has information.
So I got another question. Another question. Since you guys have both been on this journey of traveling and traveling extensively, where do you potentially see yourself see at 10 years from now with this whole with the whole traveling um, that you guys have been doing?
Well, the first thing I could say is I can definitely see myself having property outside the country now. Whether I'll be living there at that moment 10 years from now, I'll be yeah, I'll be if I'm not living there at that point, I'll be close to moving out of there because I basically have like a 5 to 10 year plan at this point, man. But by the time I'm 50, I definitely should be globetrotting. And that's the thing. I don't want property just in one location. Like because like we said before, like we and Eddie said before, like I don't feel like I'm a one place person. I might have a main hub that I stay at, but I don't want to just be stuck to one place. I always want to be able to move around. And the reason why I even think like that is because my uncle, even though he's married or whatever the case may be, he's retired, but all he does is travel. He leaves his wife at home, and all he does is travel, travel, travel. Look at culture and all that. So to answer your question, in 10 years, I see myself having property outside the country, and or living in a main hub outside the country, and and continuing to travel and learning more about the world.
See, I try not to plan too much, right? I try to listen to my spirit
Mm,
because the spirit has its own plan. It's always, for me, at least in my life, my spirit always has its own plan. I didn't think I'd be where I was now. To be where I am now wasn't a part of my plan two
mm,
years ago, but
mm,
I'm here. So I really I live a faith-based life, right? I don't worry about tomorrow. I live today to the best of my ability. I serve my God. I do my praises, my worships. I do my rituals and my practices each and every day. I don't really look too deep into tomorrow. I
mm,
just I'm guided by something bigger than me,
mm,
and I kind of listen to that thing. My faith is in that. That's taking me where I need to be, and so far it consistently has.
mm,
You know, but I will say the way I'm living my life now is the way I want to keep living it. Like it's like I'm really enjoying my life to the fullest capacity and extent.
mm,
Of in 10 years, I'll just be doing it bigger and better than
mm.
I'm doing it now. But I would
Something
like to
something you
think I'd
can't even
still be doing
imagine.
what I'm doing.
You'll be doing
Right,
something in 10 years that you can't even imagine right now.
right, right.
Hey, yo, fellas, let me. I might have to give y'all. I might have to give myself a little time limit. 'Cause I don't want my card dropping out in the middle of a conversation. So, um, if you guys got like a last question, I'll answer that, and you know what I'm saying, I'll close it out just like that.
All right, in the chat, if you got a question, we'll stay up for like 10 more minutes anyway.
All right, so I'll do the next 10. If
Yeah.
it chop out before that, you already know what it is. Yeah, what the chat saying, man? Cause I don't got my second phone on me, so I can't even see the other chat. As a matter of fact, yo, hold on, I should still be able to do that shit.
It is.
Great show. Cats are talented, capable, and lazy. This is motivation. I'm glad I tuned in tonight. You should be tuning in every time.
Yo, what episode is this? Like 25 or something?
I don't know. To be honest, I was being lazy. I just feel like you're
Yeah,
not.
but
Yeah, man.
some people, man, I don't need motivation. You need to take a huge risk, man. You need to gamble on
Ooh.
yourself and take a chance. Like it's just like
Mm,
all the motivation in the world ain't gonna really do much for you. You need to step out there, and that your motivation will come when you take a huge risk, and now you got to
Mm,
make do with it. You
mm,
know, you need to get out, just step outside yourself and do something that you hadn't planned on doing and make it
mm,
work for yourself. Just challenge yourself. You know it's in your spirit to do. Everyone has an inner voice that's telling them there's something they have to do. There's something that everybody's avoiding.
mm,
mm,
There's something in everyone's life that they're avoiding doing. Do what you're avoiding doing.
mhm,
You know what that thing is. Find what you're avoiding and do that thing.
mhm.
You
mm.
know,
That's
and
the blockage.
get uncomfortable. If what you're
Yes.
avoiding doesn't make you uncomfortable, then you're not avoiding. That's not what you're avoiding. Do something that makes you extremely uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know, and you'll be free.
You'll be
That's
strong
that. That's
afterwards
gonna be
too.
your freedom.
So
Right,
what?
100%.
So let me. I know Ripper, you got it short. So what was the biggest risk that both of you guys took in taking this journey?
Let me think. Let me think. Because when you said risk, the first thing I was thinking of is, my first time going to Colombia. Now, I speak all well about Colombia, all the stories I got, whatever. But before going to Colombia, all people kept telling me is cartel this, people get kidnapped, they got people shooting people in the streets, and I don't know anybody in Colombia in Medellin, none of that. And I ain't know anybody who went there prior to going there. So it's almost like see, I never, oh no. I got to think of a better answer. That's not really a risk. Give me some time to think about this one. I got to think about a real risk that I took.
What I would say is my risk was what I'm doing right now. Like I don't have no home base. I just flew out here and said I'm gonna make it do what it do, but I'm gonna live on a high level every time I do it. I'm not trying to save up a bunch of money and just in case something goes wrong, I have a fallback plan. No, I'm gonna make it work every day. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm supported by a high being. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make this
Mm,
thing work every day, and I'm gonna do it big. I'm gonna come out here and live big, and everywhere I go, I'm gonna do it big. This is why every island I go to, every place I travel, I'm living real fly when I get there.
mhm.
You know, I'm not budgeting nothing. I'm spending what's in my hand, and it's gonna be more in my hand when I wake up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's not really it's just a lifestyle choice for me because it's just me trusting in something bigger than myself. I'm not trusting in my own ability. I'm trusting in what I know will be there because I was told that it will be there. So I got faith in that. You know what I mean? That whatever I ask for shall be given to me, and I already asked for it. So I have to live my life like I already have it.
Mm, mm, mm,
That's the
mm,
only way to be worthy of it.
mm, mm. This is off the chain. This is good. See, this I reason why I ask certain questions to get certain answers from you guys. And sometimes people don't ask, but maybe want to think about. And then also, I'm seeing the chat room, looking at the chat room as you guys are answering. We're presenting another side of just talking about sex and women. We're talking about life, and I think a lot of guys forget how to live a life that's worthy of living versus living a life that's manufactured by the society that they live in.
Right. And then one thing I also say, man, is like once your price goes up, it don't come back down. Once you come, like for example, what I'm doing, you can't go back. You can only go forward from here, or you'll be miserable. You have to continue to sustain this. There's no going back. So once you get uncomfortable, you take that huge risk. You position yourself to have to continue to elevate, to sustain your manhood, your character, and just your senses, and like you have to sustain that because you can't go back. Once you elevate your price, you can't accept anything less. You know, so once you start traveling the world, you can't go back to just chilling where you from and not going nowhere. Your spirit won't allow it. Your spirit has outgrown your home already. My spirit got too big to live in New York. My spirit was too big. I was miserable. You know what I'm saying? My spirit was too big for that place.
That's a great point. I think Red Pill had dropped off. Now the reason why I say that because I lived in New York, well, I lived in the Bronx and I lived in Saddle River, New Jersey. And at that time I was living very good mansion, made, Rolls Royce, Bentley. So to come back to Cleveland was like a culture shock because I was living at that level and to come back and living at a level that was below it, it caused me to shrink, if that makes sense, instead of expanding like I need to. So your statement is so spot on. Once you expand, you cannot go back to what you were. If not, you're going to be constantly miserable because you experienced something at a different level that you didn't experience when you were at that one point.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so that's yep. People in the chat, man, just do something big, man. And if it don't work, so what? You tried it. You'll bounce back. You're a man. No matter what happens, you will bounce back. But go do something big and try something new. Step outside yourself and take a huge chance. And what's the harm if it don't work? It's not in 2 years you won't remember it if it don't work. But just do something new, man.
What do you think the main thing is stopping men from moving forward, or what could be?
Well, it's fear and comfort, right? It's like the subconscious mind is it only motivates you to reproduce and to find comfort, you know. So most people are just comfortable, which is why if you, most people that have a mom that take care of them and you know they'll live at home until they have to leave, you know, they'll stay there because this is that comfort. You know, most men aren't most men don't want to be men though. That's really the thing, right? Most men, they're comfortable being boys. They're comfortable settling for less. Most people will settle for less. You know, most guys they ain't gonna go after the dime. They're gonna go after the sixes and the sevens and the eights because they're afraid to get rejected, right? But the dime is gonna be the one that's probably least likely to reject you,
Mhm.
and the big chance you take is gonna be the one that lands you the most success. Although that same huge risk that you're afraid to take is gonna probably get you the most success. You know, so I think men just have this thing where they have comfort, but I also men are we're in a time where everyone's wasting their seed. You know,
Mm.
or everyone's wasting their seed. Your seed is your masculine motivation. That's your testosterone. That's your drive. That's your force. That's your drive to reproduce, to create something so that you can sustain what you reproduce with. You
Mhm.
know, but most men are we have free pornography nowadays. You know, and we got all these dating apps. Sex is so easy to get. So they don't have no more drive, you know. And I've experienced it. I've been out here traveling, and I've been releasing my seed more than I've released my seed in the last 6, 7, 8 years of my life, you know. And I know that I have to put a lockdown on that very soon. Like I just had to let a girl go recently because the sex was too good. The sex was too good. I had to let it go because normally when I sleep with a chick, I could satisfy them and hold on to my seed. But this girl, she just knew how to get it out of me. She just knew how to get it out of me, and I had to stop talking to her. I had to let her go because the sex was too good, you know, and it just wasn't good for where I'm trying to go in my life. It was holding me back. It was making me more lethargic and lazy and less motivated to do the things that I should be doing. So
Mhm.
she was very cool, very fun, but I just had to let it go. I had to let it go, man.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
just that, that's amazing that you even say that. Now you said something earlier that I know we said 10 minutes, but I have another question. So you said when you traveled here this time, without you doing anything different, your income tripled,
Quadruple.
quadrupled. Why do you think that happened? Well, it's two parts. Why do you think that happened, and what made you step out in faith to not work a regular 9 to 5? So it's a two-part question. I know it's pretty.
Well, well, here, I never really have, right? The last time I worked, it's been about 9 years since I've had a regular job, right? But I did have a comfortable situation where I was staying in a home owned by my family that I was the one just taking care of it. You know, I was there by myself, and I had to pay a little bit on rent because the home was already paid for, and I had a comfortable situation. But I gave that up, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just go to I'm gonna come out here to Indonesia and let all that go."
Mhm,
You know, I just let that go. And so I called my peoples and was like, listen, you're going to have somebody else take care of the home. I'm leaving this all behind. I won't be coming back here. So just, and I gave them enough time to find someone, which everybody wanted it. It's so many people in my family wanted to come in here, but I'm the baby. It was my grandma's spot. So I'm the baby. So she always wanted me to have it, but I gave it up. I let it go.
mhm,
And in letting that go, I was rewarded with something greater. You
mhm,
know, I was rewarded with something greater. And it was just willing to take this. Like once you take a huge chance, the universe gets behind you to do your bidding. And that's the thing that people have to understand, that there's energy and forces out here, the spirits, whatever you want to call it, that want to help you.
mhm,
But you have to open the door for them to come inside to help you. If you are living within your comfort zone, they you'd never open the door for them. They have rules that they have to follow. This says we have physical laws
mhm.
where you can't run a red light, you can't steal, you can't murder. All these things is a penalty. If they help you, I mean, you guys can still hear me?
Yeah, I'm
My
here. We can
sound
hear you.
are different. All right. If they help you without you opening the door, they break spiritual law, and there's a penalty they have to pay. So there are forces that want to do your bidding, but they can't assist you unless you do something to open the door for them. You know, there's evil spirits, for example, right? There's dark, there's more. I don't want to say evil, but there's more spirits on the dark side where you have to do a lewd or vile act to gain their support, right? This is where you'll hear about the Illuminati, or you hear about these dark groups and stuff like that, or you even if you want to talk about Santa Maria and all these where they make sacrifices, you know, or there's groups where you have to perform a homosexual act just to arouse a certain spirit because these spirits eat energy. So that homosexual act feeds a certain spirit. Even a pedophilia act, there's a spirit that can feed that spirit. They eat that energy. So you once you feed them, they help you. It's like you feed a stray dog on the street. That dog will protect you after you feed it. But so that the spirits of good require you to step out on faith. It requires you to like I've always taught that the law of attraction is really the law of expectation, right? The expectation is the gravitational force that pulls your spiritual desires into the physical realm. So when you live your life as if you know it's going to be there, it will be there because that's what the spiritual forces need to give it to you. They need you to live a step out on faith and take a chance and take a risk and leave yourself vulnerable. They can only help you in a state of vulnerability or where you're willing to be vulnerable. Because vulnerability for me, I never feel vulnerable. I'm confident in that feeling now, but you have to give them something to work with. They need that emotion, they need that vulnerability, they need that openness, they need that giving, they need that sacrifice to feed them so that they can feed you.
Excellent, excellent. We got grown man. I see you on there. What's going on, grown man? We here with Eddie and Alfie. Somehow I became with the questions, but it just is. I think the questions are pointed in such a way that it helps the men that are in the chat room and who are going to listen to this uh, playback. So I want to shout out to Jay Legend, just showing love. Thank you for the super chat. And Espresso Beats, thank you for the super chat that you did. We got grown man business here, and pretty much the flow of it has been, I guess we just changed into a whole session of how to, I guess, it turned into energy actually, and how we manifest things like that. So, grown man, what's going on?
What's happening, people, man? What's happening, brothers?
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take up too much of y'all time, man. I'm enjoying this vibe tonight, man. I really am, man. Cause me and Affy was actually talking about this, man, and it's good to have these kind of discussions, man. Not discussing females and all that other good stuff, man. It's good to kind of sit back and reflect and let guys kind of find their lane, find their niche, whether it's traveling, whether it's real estate, whether it's anything of uh, contributing to building a foundation, building a legacy for themselves. It's Father's Day. It's kind of unfortunate that men only get their kudos on one day out of the year. It's unfortunate that a lot of times that your kids seem to tend to lean more toward their mother's side of the family and stuff like that. But it's good to have that day, I guess, to spend time with your kids and stuff. Me, unfortunately, I'm at work, and I've pretty much been doing the same shit for the past 20 years. My two businesses on the side, they kind of keep me busy too, man. And I really don't spend as much time with my kids as I should. But I hope at some point that I can all my hard work can get me to a position where I can be around them a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying?
So, grown man, I got a question for you. So, I've seen you've been listening for a minute. So, what things that you glean from what you heard from Red Pill and Eddie? What would be one thing or two things that you glean from their two discussions about travel or the energy or anything? What did two things that really grabbed you as a man to say, "Wow, okay, I needed to hear that"?
Well, Ed had mentioned something a while back, man, about when he took a trip. I guess it was to Indonesia or something. The chick that she has a business or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest guys, aim for the quality. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna deal with women, try to target high quality women that can meet you halfway, women that have something going on other than, you know, spreading their legs or shaking their ass somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people will say, "Oh, well, you're tricking or simping or whatever the case may be," and I don't look at it like that, man. Because if you're dealing with a high value woman, a high quality woman, there's nothing wrong with meeting her halfway. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So I found that real interesting, man, and I could appreciate that perspective. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. See, in my experience, man, the more the more a woman has, the more I'm willing to help out. Right. Like a lot of these poor girls out here, I make them buy me dinner because I know that they're looking at me as an opportunity. You know, I make them because you're going to show me that this ain't what you really after. You know, if I tell a girl, like if we go to dinner, I make them pay for it. That way they reveal themselves. You know, so but when a woman got the little something, I'm willing to help her out more because I know she ain't even looking at me like that. You
Yeah, man.
know,
Go ahead. My bad.
and they also, like I said, the poor girls is poor because their energy can't yield or magnetize much more to themselves than what they have. That woman that has more, she has an energy that magnetizes those things to her, and she could use that for you as well as she used it for herself.
Well,
If the poor girl had any real
Good. That's
power,
good.
she wouldn't be poor. You
yeah,
understand
man.
what I'm saying?
Mm.
Facts. I'll say this too, man. Guys just, you know, a lot of guys really don't have a standard, man. You know what I mean? I say the vast majority of men, because they see, you know, they see the physical attributes of a woman, and she could be working at a damn convenience store and she's 34 years old. You know what I'm saying? Don't really have any goals or ambitions. She's just content with being in that convenience store. I'm just speaking hypothetically, of course. But you know, and they see this fat ass, you know what I'm saying, or a cute face, and they're losing their mind. So they will use, you know, present their resources to take care of a depreciating asset. You know what I'm saying? They'll wife the chick up, maybe have kids with the broad and all this other stuff, man. Instead of, you know, when you set a standard for yourself as a man, especially when it comes to women, then you will attract what you are. You know what I mean? I mean, if
Right.
that makes any sense, you know, because I mean, I always tell guys all the time, I've never had that problem because I always presented myself as high value. And with my standard, I didn't mix and mingle with the hood rats and the ratchets like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, on some pump and dump shit, but as far as like taking them seriously, I never done that, man.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah, I ain't never had a girlfriend that was a her rat, not one time.
So yeah, this is interesting because I think what happens is because of the expectations that you have of yourself and the people around you, you eliminated people who did not meet those expectations. And if they did come, they couldn't last long because your expectations were so strong or your intentions were so strong. They had to lead. It repelled them.
Right.
Exactly.
And
Right.
so I think go
I
So
ahead.
mean,
that
Go ahead.
just
go ahead, Eddie.
no, so just for the guys out there, because look what a woman whatever a woman is magnetized to herself is what she got magnetized to you. If you get with a hood rat chick that always got drama, she always getting into some things, she's gonna put that energy in your life too. You're gonna be always getting into drama and always getting into things just like she is. So just if a woman got wealth and you around her, she gonna magnetize that wealth to you as well. You know, and it's just good to be around that energy first and foremost.
I mean, what's the use of having a 10 face? You know, her body is a 10, her face is a 10, but in her life she's a fucking zero. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that zero trumps that 10. So basically, you're nothing. You know what I mean? You're worthless.
It brings it to a
You're,
5. It averages it.
man. I don't even look at her as a 5. I look at her as worthless. She's
Okay.
fucking worthless to me, man. You know what I mean? If you're not contributing, you know, I ask guys all the time, man, because there's guys that I work with, I talk with and stuff. I mean, what is she contributing? You know what I mean? Other than her physical attributes, other than, you know, saying the vag or some head. You know what I mean? What is she doing to contribute to your program, to elevate your program? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And a lot of guys will settle. You know what I'm saying? They will settle for this nothing ass, worthless ass broads, man. and it's kind of depressing. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll see in the long term, a zebra doesn't change its stripes. So you will see in the long term they end up broken and hurt after she's used his resources and hypergamy has kicked in and she's left them broken. So now he doesn't have the motivation to work out. He doesn't have the motivation to travel or the motivation to build his value, his worth. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I got 3 women right now that wake up every morning and spend 30 minutes in meditation to attract me wealth. That's just one of the jobs I gave them. Every morning they wake up at 6:30, same time, and they text me after they're done, and they meditate that I attract more money to myself. They meditate for 30 minutes of me attracting higher wealth and more money every single day.
Hold up.
But
You need to repeat that.
but this is what I always tell guys is like how to use the women in your life to benefit you, right? And these are girls, you know what I mean? So that's just one of the benefit. That's one of their jobs, their daily requirements that I've given them, you know. And it's because they really want to be in my life, but it's like, you know, but so I give them tasks and jobs to do, you know. And if what I give you to manifest for me, man, because I gave them each something different to manifest for me. If what I give you manifest for me, then I that you know it establishes you as somebody more important in my life. All right, the thing I gave her to manifest for me actually came. So now I want to keep you around longer now because I'm gonna give you something else now. And if you could do that, and if you can keep doing this, then you might have a more permanent position in my life.
She's contributing to that program.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's what I say, man. When you are high value, man, you know what I'm saying? You're high quality. You don't have a problem with women buying into your program. It's sort of like Chick-fil-A. All right, you know, just hypothetically, Chick-fil-A is like the top upper echelon of the fast food industry right now. You know what I'm saying? They're getting a lot of business, but they close on Sunday. That's a part of their program. And even being closed on Sunday, it doesn't hurt their business. You understand what I'm saying? So if you look at it just like you were saying, you have them meditating, you know, saying doing something, you know, on finances and stuff like that. You can have a woman that, you know, doing something small, something as small as freaking once a week, I want you to come wash my car. You know what I'm saying? Or once a week, I want you to cook soul food for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you get her on that program, and then that becomes a routine of more things that she will buy into. You know what I'm saying? It starts with something small, and that'll actually tell you what kind of value she has to you. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
If
But
she's gonna stay on the team or not. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's why I tell guys you have to have the conversation of value with the woman. You sit down with the woman and say, "What are you bringing into this relationship? What are you contributing to what me and you have?" This is the first time I started getting women to pay me to spend time with them because I started having these conversations with them. And I was so self aware of everything I was bringing into their lives. So when they responded with what they thought they were bringing into my life, it was so uneven. So I said, all right, we have to even this thing out if you're going to be able to stick around. Now, if you don't want to be around, that's fine. I'll hold the door for you. But if you want to stick around, we're going to have to balance this thing out a little bit more. So, what do you have that you can begin to contribute to my life? Here's some things you can do for me. But what else do you have? You know, and that's one of the chicks is like, man, all I have is money. There's a chick that she was well paid. I'm like, all right, then you can pay me then. You know, you can pay me. That's how you balance out because I'm bringing you so much value and it's clear. That's why you want me to be around you so much. But I don't feel that same thing from you, so I'm starting to resent being around you. So how do we balance this out more? You know, so just make sure you have the conversation of what you guys are bringing to the relationship, and make sure as a guy you know what you're bringing into a woman's life. I could talk to a woman for a whole 3 hours about all the things I'm bringing into her life because I got this all mapped out in my mind. And as a man, you should have that mapped out, so you know what you offer and you know what you're bringing to the table. You know,
So do you find that a lot of men do not have that mapped out in their lives?
100%. They don't know what they offer to a woman's life. They don't know what they contribute. So they just, you know, but when you the high, it's just you know your worth. It's about knowing your worth, right? And so you know your worth. But one of the things I always tell a woman that I offer her, just as an example, is you offer a woman protection just mental protection. There's a lot of things in the world that, like, especially as a woman, like you said, Eve ate the apple, right? So the serpent comes to tempt the woman first. That's usually how it is. So you offer a woman mental protection and mental security, so where she knows she can always fall back on you in the event that she may be making a troubling decision or a confusing decision. It's that level of support and focus and guidance where she never has to worry about making a bad choice or decision because she has you in her corner. That's a level of mental security and support. But I got a whole list of about 100 things that I could break down to a woman, and I've done this and mapped this out, and for the intention of knowing what I offer a woman, you know, and every guy should do that for themselves.
That's an excellent point. I think a lot of times guys don't write down what they really want from a woman or what they want actually from life either. So they end up just going by fly by night, accepting just anything that come their way, or they're going by what other people think they should have, and not what their own spirit and soul suggested they came here to have. If that makes sense.
Right.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I'll say this too, man. A lot of guys don't know who or what they see when they look in the mirror, man. You understand what I'm saying? They haven't found themselves, man. And so it's kind of hard for guys who, are not self-aware. They don't have the discipline to, take their life to the next level. And I go back to what Eddie just mentioned about, the Eve. You know what I'm saying? Women have been making decisions that have been detrimental to their well-being since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I say that all the time, and just in my experience, man, I have seen one thing that women value more than anything else, and that one thing is direction, man. You know, if you give
Yes,
them
sir.
something to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? If you lay out a plan for them, they will open all the way up to you completely. And we talked about this before. Like, guys don't know the difference between loyalty and faithfulness. You understand what I'm saying? Because a woman could be, just say, hypothetically, just use the analogy about a pimp. You know, for in most cases, the woman would go out and get the tricks, and she would bring the money back to the pimp because she was loyal to him. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't loyal to him. She wasn't faithful to him sexually, but everything, her mind and her spirit, pretty much belonged to that pimp. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That's 100% fact. And just as a sidebar, it's like a little off topic, but it's still on that topic. Is that every guy in this chat, I know for a fact, knows that there's a woman that you can call, that you can sleep with at any time you want. It don't matter if she got a husband or a boyfriend. You know her mind still belongs to you, no matter where she's at, or who she's with. That if you wanted her, you could have her. You know. So I always tell guys that some guys be falling in love with chicks, that there's a guy out there that has the woman that they're falling in love with like that. Because
Mhm.
there's several guys in love with women right now that I know for a fact. If I called that woman and said, "Leave that man and come be with me," she would drop everything and run. So how you know that the girl you got, there ain't some guy that got her like that, but he just ain't exercising that right the same way I'm not.
I'll tell you a way that he could find out very easily. What does she invest? What
There
what
it
is she
is. There
what
it
is she
is.
investing? If she invests, if she isn't investing anything, her mind belongs to someone else. Cause
Yes, sir. What is she complying with? What is she doing? It's 100%. 100%. That's how you always know how loyal a woman is to you, is how much is she complying with the things that you ask of her. You know, if a woman's mind belongs to another man, she's gonna be telling you no half the time and yes another half the time. When she does, because I'm gonna ask a woman to do some very intense things, you know, because I feel like I'm a man of means and high value and worth. So you got to do a lot of hard, difficult things to be with me if you want to be here. You know, All optional. If you don't want to do it, you don't got to do it. You can go ahead about your business. But if you want to be here, these are some of the things I'm gonna need you to do.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've always made them open up that purse, man.
Oh
One
yeah.
way or another, one way or another, she's gonna open up that purse, man. Because at the end of the day, the vast majority of women look at a man, for his resources. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to use that, to my advantage. You may think you're gonna get something, but at the end of the day, when we go on the first date, I may pretend like I left my goddamn wallet or something. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you make her invest something small, even if it starts small, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, especially after you break her back a couple of times, that will become a part of the program as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Keep them investing. Keep them complying. You have to keep them compliant. They have to be in service to you at all times. You have to. That's like if a girl asks you, "Hey, you want me to rub your feet?" I always tell guys this. Even if you don't want your feet rubbed, let her do it. Let her do it because let her perform those acts of service. That's gonna begin to hardwire her onto you and hardwire her to you emotionally. I've had girls. I remember the first time a woman asked me, because do you want me to rub your feet? I ain't never heard that before. I ain't never heard a woman ask me if I wanted her to rub my feet before, and I was like, nah, I'm good, because I ain't never heard a woman say that before. But I was wrong. I should have let her do it. Even though I didn't want it, even though I was good, let her serve you. Let her serve you. If a woman call you and say, "Hey, I'm out getting something to eat. You want me to bring you something to eat?" Yes, bring me something. I don't care if you sitting down with dinner right in front of you. Let her buy it. Say when she get here, say I was already eating when you called, but I eat it tomorrow for lunch. I just put it in the refrigerator. Let her buy it. Let her serve you. That's gonna hardwire her over onto you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So this has been excellent tonight. Alfie, I'm not sure yet. You're awake, you sleep, you there?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I think Alfie might.
Yeah, man. But
I want to definitely come because I know we are all on different time zones and things like that. So, and it was so much given tonight. I want to be conscious of the people that are in the chat. When we got 41 in the chat room, 41 watching. We got people in the chat room. Thank you for that, Charlie. Thank you for that super chat and for all the things that are in there. But I want to be conscious. I want to be conscious that I don't want people to get stuffed because of everything that was been shared tonight, because it was a lot. And if they were to digest what was said, their lives will definitely will be changed because of the dialogue that was given here with these men from around the world, giving some information that's beyond just talking about women.
All right. That's the information I got is here.
Yeah,
I know.
right. So I definitely wanted to come. I'm not sure where Alfie is. Alfie, you there?
Yeah. Afi.
Alfie
Might have
might
went to
be
the bathroom or something like that. I don't know. Has
in.
he has he gone to sleep before?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Oh, he
came
done that
back right
before.
on
Okay.
point.
Oh.
It came
Oh,
right
okay.
back on
Cause
point. So, but I want to thank you guys, man, for the insight that you both gave. Oh, he jumped off. Grown man and
yeah,
jumped off.
he might have disconnected. I don't know.
Right. But I want to thank you for the insight you gave, Eddie, grown man, red pill, Alfie. I'm not sure where he is, and I don't have control to actually in the broadcast. But I thank you for the insight that you've given and sharing the side of you, parts of you that I know sometimes we don't share, or the questions that you answered. And I think the chat, you say he lost connection, but it was real. Grown man business says lost connection, but it was real good, guys. Salute. He just sent a super chat in.
Peace, my brother.
So definitely. So I want to for before Eddie and I get off of here, let's get one fire question before he gets off and I have to go. One fire question in the chat room while Eddie FEWS. You don't get this kind of in-depth, personal, one-on-one questioning and answering from a lot of content creators that digs into their lives. So definitely you want to get that one fire question in, because we're in the mode of constantly creating content instead of on the flyby and just allowing people to ask questions. I know you do it on your page. You have people call in, but this is good when someone else is asking you questions.
Right.
And so get that one fire question in there. How do you okay, somebody did. How do we apply strategies to vision? How do we apply strategies to our vision? I'm assuming that's what he's asking.
I'm not.
Moses.
I'm maybe you could ask. You understand that question in a way that I don't, and you can like reword it for me in a way
Okay.
that you understand it.
Okay. So how do we in so many words, what strategies do we use to fulfill our vision?
I get the majority of my strategies from that book. I always talk about the Raymond Hollywell's Working with the Law, the 11 Truth Principles for Successful Living. It's 11 spiritual laws to follow that all just, magnify every aspect of your life. So one of the things I practice in, like in the book, is giving thanks for everything that I have. Uh, every morning and night, I lay my face on the ground. I get on my knees and lay my bare face flat on the ground and give praise and thanks for every little thing that I have. And thanks for things that I know that have already manifested. I'm just traveling there now. If that makes sense to the people that understand that.
Mhm.
Um, so that's one of the things that I do. It's also I've learned how to use expectation, the emotion of expectation. That's an emotion people need to learn how to use to, I guess, as gravity to pull the things that I want into reality.
Mhm.
That's really the key to it. Giving is another thing I participate in. I'm a big tipper. I'm a very giving person. I'm a free giver. I don't think about the money. I give with my left hand, I receive with my right. They don't know each other. They never have anything to do with one another.
Mhm.
Those my left and my right hand are two separate things. But also you have to be willing to receive, and this is where a lot of guys get the game wrong.
Mhm.
Let's just say you help an old lady with her groceries,
Mhm.
and because you help her with her groceries, she says, here's take this $5 for helping me. Now, because you want to be polite, a lot of people say, no, thank you, it's okay, you keep that. You're telling the universe that you don't deserve to receive.
Mm.
Because if she said, here's 10,000 for helping me, I just hit the lottery, you would have took that.
Mm.
Right? But
Mm.
because the amount is so small, you think that it's beneath you to accept, or or you just want to be polite, or you don't want to take five. No. She's giving because she wants to give. So you're allowing her to give, to allow her to attract to herself, and you're telling the universe that you're willing to receive. Don't deny someone else an opportunity to give.
Mm.
Accept that, receive that. you know, receive that. Then don't go taking nothing from somebody. But if she offer you five, even if she offer you $1, she can offer me 50 cents. She can say, "Here, all I got is this penny. Give me that penny," because I'm always gonna send the message to the universe that I'm worthy of receiving. And if you say no to the little, you will never get the lot. So
Mm.
so never turn. Don't turn. If somebody's offering you something that's beneficial to you, always receive it. Don't try to be polite and not receive it. You're gonna be polite and impoverished. You know, just accept that with gratitude, though. It's not rude to accept. Thank you so much, I appreciate it, God bless you. Accept it with gratitude and bless her. you know
Mm.
and not only does she becomes blessed because she gave, and you became blessed because you received. When you stop in the flow of energy to yourself, and you say no, you stop in your supply, you stop in what's yours. And
Mm.
that's going to happen on a grander level because you're stopping it on a small level.
Correct.
So that's really a huge jewel for everybody that I hope y'all get. Always be willing to receive. If I see a penny on the ground, I pick that shit up.
Mm.
You understand? I don't care who's looking or what they think about it,
Mm.
because I deserve to receive. That must be for me. Somebody wanted me to have that. I recognized it. You understand what I'm saying? So I went from finding pennies to finding tens, and from finding ones to fives to tens and 20s and 50s. But because you ignore and overlook the little, your eyes never grow to the size to see the lot. So
That's
that's
sir.
that. That's Go ahead.
That's very true. It's interesting because I used to play. I call it a play the game with myself because to me that's all there is. So I'm playing a game with myself. I would pick up the penny, then I would gradually, like you said, build the expectation that I would see it. I picked up. I remember two times I did it. I did it in Atlanta and I did it here. I sent a $5 bill in
Right.
the leaves, and it's because I began to expect it, and I knew it was going to happen. I can't. I'm not articulate in the way I know it should be articulate how I was taught, but it's amazing. Went from a penny to $1 to a $5 bill. Now, what's the chances you think of a $5 bill being in a group of leaves? But it was there.
Right. Right.
Mhm. So,
Right. And
so
that 20 maybe that 100, that 10,000 may be in a business deal.
correct.
Just as that five was, what I mean, was in a group of leaves. So,
Hmm.
but just always be open to receiving. That's really like I got that from the book as well, but I break it down in a better way I think than he did, but I understand it because that's the thing about knowledge. Wisdom is like I found the wisdom in the knowledge,
Correct.
and that's where
Correct.
most people can read a book and get nothing from it because you can't take the wisdom from the knowledge, you
Mm,
know.
right.
And so yeah,
Yeah,
so
you were asking the name of that book again.
it's Working with the Law by Raymond Hollywell. I think that's his only book. If you Google his name, you should be able to find it.
Correct.
But Raymond Hollywell, um, the 11 Truth Principles for Successful Living. It's just 11 spiritual laws, you know.
I had the book, but I can't find it. I think I might have lost it somewhere. I got one more question. It said, how do you, how do you know you're doing your affirmations correctly before you see the manifestations? What is so many words? What is the proper way of your affirmations to see results? I know the answer, but I want to hear what you're going to say.
The the proper way is the answer that comes from you.
Hmm.
I had somebody ask me recently, hey Eddie, do you meditate?
Hmm.
But that wasn't his real question. That was what he was asking. But I know what his real question was. His real issue is he's looking for answers to try to get where I am. That's why he's asking me that question, right? So what I told him was, what's for me is not necessarily what's for you. Like what got me here is not what's going to get you here. I may have had to meditate to get here, but you may not have to meditate to get here. You have to find what you have to do inside of you to get here. It's not about what I'm doing. It's not
Mhm.
about my technique or my strategy. It's about what's the one that's inside it. What is your spirit calling you to do? If your spirit is calling you to meditate, then meditate. Because the spirit is always nudging you to go where your heart is set on going. So it may even be something as simple as approaching a woman. Like you want to you want to grow. You have this vision or plan for yourself. So your soul is always nudging you to do things to empower you to accomplish that thing. But they all are going to be things that make you uncomfortable. That
Mhm.
require some kind of sacrifice. So it's like you may feel this nudge, like, man, I really want to approach that woman. It may not even be about the woman. It may just be about your soul nudging you to do that to grow you outside of your comfort zone, so you can be blessed in another way. But just taking that action, whether you get rejected or accepted, is opening you up to the receiving of something that your soul wants you to receive.
Correct.
So when you get in tune with your spirit, your spirit is always nudging you to do this and nudging you to do that. You feel those nudges. You know what you got to do. I know when I lay in my bed and I'm real sleepy, and I thank God that my convictions are so strong, and I always pray that my convictions become stronger. But I know when I lay in my bed at night and I felt tired, or I had some wine and I don't feel like getting up to to get on my knees to give thanks for everything that I have. I feel that nudge. Now when I was in that strong spiritually, that nudge was very slight. It was a very slight nudge, and I could ignore it and go to sleep. But the stronger spiritually I got, the stronger that nudge got, to the point where now I can't ignore it. I won't even be able to sleep. If I
Mm,
try to ignore that nudge, I can't sleep now because I've prayed for it to be magnified to a point where it can keep me up. But there's a downside to that too.
mhm.
There's a dark side to that too. When your convictions get so strong that you're kind of. I remember when I was a fruitarian one time for 8 months. I only ate fruit.
Hmm.
This was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And when you only eat fruit, you become so sensitive because you're not polluting yourself or numbing yourself with toxins and poisons and all the other things that we're eating. So I got so sensitive that I was able, if I told somebody a small white lie, just like a simple white lie, I would feel the harm being done to my body when I lied. Because whenever you tell a lie, your body does release a small acidic chemical that causes slight little damage to your organs. I forgot which organ it is, but I know anger, you release an acid that attacks your liver. So some
Correct.
people can get liver cancer just because they're angry, even if they don't even drink like that.
Correct.
You know, but
Very
every negative emotion releases some kind of acid that attacks some area of your body. So lying releases something that attacks you as well when you tell a lie. So it's like people that are liars are killing themselves and they don't even realize it. Right. So I remember if I would tell a white lie when I was a fruitarian, I got so sensitive that I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I had a girlfriend, and I remember I had told her one time. She asked me, how did I think she looked and something? I was like, yeah, you look good, you look all right. And I knew I was lying to her, but that night I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned for 3 hours, and I had to pick up the phone and call her at 3 in the morning and tell her that I lied to her in the afternoon, for that feeling to go away because I got that sensitive. But I pray that spiritually I'm at that level of sensitivity now where I can't ignore that nudge to not give my gratitude and give my thanks before bed. It's
right.
just overwhelming now, which is, that keeps you doing what you have to do.
Correct. It's interesting. I think of a book by Louise Hay. You ever heard of her?
No, I haven't.
Louise Hay it's called Heal Thyself. I think it's called Heal Thyself. I think I have it in my library. She talks about what you just said, that certain emotions or certain emotions the body. So you have an issue in your body or ailment or sickness, it's tied to something emotional or something mental. So if you have sinus,
Yes.
it's tied to this. If you have something going on with your foot, it's tied to this emotion or this thought that you have, thought pattern that you have. It's quite interesting how she had it broke down. So it was certain things that you may be dealing with in your body is tied somewhere emotionally where you need to get that correct.
Yeah. I remember when this chick I met here, because I was messing with this chick that I thought I liked out here, and I said let me go see this other chick tonight. So this chick came to see me. So I'm hanging out with her, and this is where you see there's levels to women, right? I'm hanging out with her, and she grabs my hand and starts massaging my hand, you know. And after massaging my hand for a couple minutes, I said, "Ouch!" I felt this sharp pain go through my hand, and she's like, "Oh, you have stomach ulcers."
Mm.
And I said, "What?" She's like, "Oh, because." She didn't know English very well, so she ended up writing it on Google Translate for me. But because I had pain in that area of my hand that she massaged, she knew I had stomach ulcers. She was telling me that I had to eat this certain kind of banana that they have here just twice a day for 2 weeks, and it'll go away. And
Mm.
and I did it, and I was good, you know. But it was just levels to a woman. The other chick I was hanging out with, she was just fun, She was fun and cool. We would laugh and joke and have a good time, but she didn't bring any real value into my life. Here, I met this girl within the first hour of meeting her. She's diagnosing me just from massaging my hands and healing me,
See.
telling me how to heal myself.
Mm. Mm. So let me get the name of that book. That's by Louise Hayes. It's called "You Can Heal Your Life." That's what it's called, and she talks about different things. People from smoking, whatever it is, whatever it's sexual, whatever things like that. It's always tied to something that's going on emotionally on your emotional body that needs to be adjusted or dealt with. And men, we sometimes, and not all of us, don't deal with our emotional side because we think oh, that's not masculine to do. But you need to deal with those emotions and resolve them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing.
These guys be getting so much free game on this thing, man. I'd be like, and I just feel like there should be thousands of people listening to this, man. Like there
Yeah,
should
I
really
agree.
be tens and hundreds of thousands of people tuned in right now to the stuff that we be talking about up here. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, because that's why I'm in the point now, Eddie, where it's okay. Yeah, the women, okay, great, that's good, but where are you going to get where you talking about emotional healing? Your woman touch you and she talk about what area your body needs to be healed. You're not going to get that in this sphere or even sometimes on YouTube because
Right.
sometimes we so locked into just one area and miss so much. There's more to a man than just his physical. There's the mental and the spiritual that needs that most times that here in this sector of manosphere, whatever you want to call it, miss out on.
Right. And I see Isaac in the chat said thousands of people aren't on the right level to hear this. That's not true, Isaac. Um, that's not. I don't think that's true. I think that that's this thing where we want to feel like, or you want to feel like you're unique or special or above someone because you're ready to hear this information.
Mm-hmm.
But there's at least there's 100,000 people out there that know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. It is. It
You
is.
know what I'm saying? Like there's not only 36, 50, 100 people that can relate to this. There's 7 billion people in the world. There's at least there may be 15, 20 million people that know what we're talking about.
Right.
And
Definitely.
that's only a 1%, you know, of the world population. What's 7 billion? What's 1% of 7 billion? That's like what 7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's at least 1% of the world knows what we're talking about. Come on.
Right. And knows how to operate in this. See, a lot of times I don't share much of how to operate on this level, and I need to more. And I know you do, but it needs to be talked about on this level because when you talk about manifestation, attraction, affirmation, and things like that. I mean, actually, a question for King: your manifest, your if you everybody had different affirmations. I'm just going to say what I do. It may not be for you, but I'm going to say what I do. Affirmation is always in the past tense as is already done, not as you're going to obtain it, but that is already done. So if you want a bike, I already have a bike that's yellow. It has um, two wheels with white walls, and I'm already in the place of having it, and I feel that I have it. Like my grandfather used to say, feeling gets the blessing. So I think a lot of times the affirmation is in the wrong state. It has to be in the tense of it's already done.
And go out and helmet and some knee pads, because you know what I mean. Go out and buy the rest of the equipment you need for the bike.
Mm,
Don't wait until you physically have to see where you get the accessories. If you can get the accessories today, go get them accessories.
that is so true.
Prepare for what you know you have.
That is so that right there, that is the most, I think that's the key right there. Most people do not prepare for what they ask for. They wait for what they ask for to show up to start preparing.
Like the first time I came to Bali, I didn't know where I was gonna sleep at. I
Mm,
bought the plane ticket. I bought the plane ticket. You
mm,
understand? I bought the plane ticket, and the money for the living accommodations came later, and it came at a big level. So I bought it. I used all the money I had. Pretty much what I had. I just paid rent and everything like that. Yeah, I had $1,200. I bought $1,200 plane ticket. I just bought the tickets, and I didn't have
mm.
nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, but I
Jeez.
just knew I was going. I knew I was going. You know, and now I got 50 times that. You know that I'm just sitting on. You know,
Mm.
so I didn't know. It's expectation. I knew what was coming. I stepped out on faith. You know, and then I ended up living in a beautiful home when I got here.
Yeah, I seen it. It was
Beautiful home.
nice. It's nice.
Oh, not that you probably seen what you seen the one I posted yesterday.
No, I seen the one with the pool upstairs,
Oh no, that's
downstairs.
that was just that was a small home. I moved to a home triple that size this month. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, I ain't make a video of this one yet, but I had a weekend spot. I just had a weekend home.
Mm,
If you watch my last YouTube video, I show a video of that home that I'm at now.
mm,
Not yeah, it's in Lombok, which is a neighboring island of Bali. But I got one of the most beautiful views I've ever seen in my life here. You
mm,
know, right on the water. But the home I'm in, my other home in Bali is, it's a 3-story home, a triplex, 4 bedroom, 4 bathroom, bigger swimming pool, gigantic living room, kitchen area. You know,
mm,
and each bathroom has a bathtub big enough to fit 2 people in it. Each
mm,
bathroom in the home.
mm. See that's what I need to hear that from me. for another reason. It's interesting that someone asked you in the chat room, what made you decide to go to Bali, Eddie?
I actually I ain't never heard of Bali before January of this year.
Jeez.
I never heard of it. The moment I heard about it, because I knew I was gonna go somewhere. Like I was looking at my spirit was getting too big for New York, man, or just for where I was at. I knew it was time for me to go somewhere. And then I seen, I knew I was gonna buy a plane ticket to somewhere. I just didn't know where. And then I had talked to a friend of mine, and they had said something about Bali in conversation. I looked it up and just bought the plane ticket. I looked it up and bought the plane ticket. So I came to Bali 2 weeks after I found out that it even exists.
Wow. I got one question. I'm gonna have to pull Alfie on this one because it's 2:17 where I'm at. What do you mean by their spirit was too big for New York?
I just kept feeling like I have to go, like I kept getting this feeling like I was being pushed out, like just from inside of myself. I no longer wanted to be there. I didn't know where I wanted to go though. I just knew I didn't want to be where I was. That it was just time for me to go. And that's because my spirit wasn't accepting it anymore. I just kept getting pushed, and I just wasn't. I was uncomfortable. So I just started seeking something else. I came out to Bali, and I knew this was it. Once I got here and I got to my home, and I put my feet. I always put my feet on the bare ground to connect with the earth, so you can receive those electrons. That's a whole nother segment of game that we don't even have time to get into. But once I got here, once I got here, took my shoes off, put my feet on the ground, I knew this was it. Like I knew this was where I was supposed to come to. That's when it set in. When I was first riding through from the airport in my taxi to my home, I was like, it's cool here, but I don't know. But once I put my feet on the ground, got to my spot, was able to just take it all in, I knew this was it. I knew this was it. So I'm about to fly to Malaysia this weekend just for about a week, but I'm going there to get my social visa, which allows me to stay in Bali for another 6 months.
Yep. So you're good. So definitely, I'm glad you answered that because I think a lot of guys need to hear that. They're still going into good. You say good tips on grounding, Eddie. I'm not asking Eddie any more questions. You guys got
Yes, there's soursop here for the guy in the chat.
Say that again.
There's definitely soursop. Nah, he was saying is there soursop? There's soursop everywhere. Here's the thing about Bali is you can walk on a main street where there's just like McDonald's and Burger Kings and the trees will have soursop on the tree as you're walking down the street, like growing off the tree, and you could just reach up and grab it.
So Alfie, are you there?
Nah, Alfie knocked out.
I just called him. He said,
"Yeah, I had too many windows opened up to find this one, and got confused."
That's a long time. That's a lot of windows. I feel crazy.
Hey man, I can ask questions all night, but I don't want to respect your time as what we're doing. But this is awesome because this was so smooth tonight. I hope you guys in the chat room really appreciate what y'all got tonight because this is a whole nother level I keep saying you're there. He said something perfectly. There's at least 1 million people who knows about this who will want to hear this, but it's not many. And I'm adding a part to it that not many in the manosphere are talking about.
Right.
And I think that's where it is.
Yeah, man. Everybody in the chat, real quick. My 3-hour class will be up Tuesday. I believe that's Tuesday, June 18th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern today. Coming up, so I'm actually about to finish doing that once I get off this stream. So make sure you guys are signed up for that. FEWS.com/3-hour class. This class is going to be about polygyny. It's going to be my first class about just the original relationship between men and women, and just the nature of it and how to get that today. So just for the people in the chat, yeah, go check that out. Just go to my website, FEWS.com, click the tab, you'll see the 3-hour class, and make sure y'all sign up for that.
Man, thank you so much for your time. I know it's like I turned into interview mode. I used to do a radio show years ago, so this what comes out of me. Asking questions.
Sometimes I appreciate finding out what's inside of me, because sometimes you don't know what you know until you get asked the right question, you know?
That is true. That is true.
Like,
That is true.
sometimes you don't even know you knew something. You're like, man, I didn't even know I knew that, but he brought that out of me. So
right. I did the same thing with BOA. He's like, okay, bro, all right. You going with the questions. You know how BOA is.
yeah. That was a good that was a good impersonation.
Yeah. That's my brother, man. So definitely, I wanted to ask those questions. I think it was helpful for the men that are in the chat room. We got 36 watching, 42 likes. One person didn't like 42. Okay, good. But and I see they really appreciate it, because this is another facet of, I think, that every man needs to hear, and they need to not just hear this, but apply what you heard. It's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing when you apply what you heard. And look who popped up, Professor McTowell.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good. Chopping it
What's
up
up?
with Eddie, giving definitely some jewels on things that you and I talked offline. And Eddie was dropping some gems tonight. I hope they really appreciate what was said tonight. And Red Pill was dropping some excellent things on his discoveries in Colombia, not Colombia. He's in Cuba, and it was excellent. Just hear their perspectives and their views on it.
I look forward to hearing a rerun on it, man.
Yeah, definitely some things that we talked about. They talked about traveling and what causing them, what was the push to get them to travel, how it affected their energy, how did it affect the people around them, what has changed since they started traveling. I'm not sure if you're an advocate of men getting out there and traveling and getting out of the United States.
Oh, so this is a classic show, a real classic.
Right. And then we went on to the whole spiritual side of it about how to manifest. Because I was telling them a story about when Alfie and I were together in Toronto, how we were able to manifest things like in hour, minutes, whatever the case may be, things begin to manifest quickly. So we talked about how when you travel, when you begin to elevate to a particular level, you begin to manifest faster because you are out of your element of a lower vibration.
Yeah, that's Eddie's specialty right there, man.
Oh, I know. I know it.
Yeah, he's one of the brothers that dropped the spiritual game. That's why I've been subscribed since the very beginning, man. Your brother got depth.
So definitely, that's what's been going on. I am about to jump off. This has been excellent because I think I'm gonna tell you something. This the thing with Alfie, Eddie, Red Pill, and everybody else that's on here. You rarely, I'm gonna say very rarely. It is excellent to get a number of men who are on an intellectual level who can articulate the depths of what's inside of them. And it's amazing. It's good to have that where we're not arguing with each other. We're not disagree. We can disagree to agree. We can agree to disagree. We may have different views on things, but we're not.
Facts.
So definitely. So those in the chat room, don't forget to get Eddie's 3-hour class that's coming up this Tuesday. He talked about. Make sure you tap in and get that. He's gonna be talking on polygamy. Did I say it correct, Eddie?
It's gonna be about polygyny. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, they did it definitely. What was the one before that 3-hour class?
I have one called "How to Use Conscious Sex to Materialize Success." I have one called "Become Her Master Teacher." I have one called what's class number 4? Hold on, let me look it up because It's gonna be real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's how to program a woman's subconscious mind. That was class 4.
Mm.
And class 3 was how to use conscious sex to materialize success. Class 2 was how to use a woman's need to feel desired to seduce her. Class 1 was how to use conscious eye contact to build stronger bonds and relationships.
Mm. You guys said that definitely. I gotta tap into some of those because I know it's right down my alley. Definitely. So I know some powerful lessons, some powerful 3 hours. It's gonna take a lot for you to digest, but people need to digest it and not just digest it, but actually live it. Let it become into every cell of their bodies.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, Professor
Yeah,
McDowell.
class 1 and 3, the conscious eye contact is on my website, eddiefuse.com/shop for sale right now. And class 3, how to use conscious sex to materialize success. And I break it down. I break the game down in such a easy, digestible way. I make the most advanced concepts seem so simple. So that's what I try to do.
That's what I think. That's what guys. Professor McDowell, when your book is coming out.
Man. Probably in 20. Definitely gonna be in 2020, man. Got so many other things going on. You know, I'm trying to get into this little school thing, so that's what I've been focusing on so far.
Okay.
But it'll definitely be 2020.
For 2020, we get a book out from Professor McDowell. It's going to be an automatic classic. If you know the depths of what this man talks about, his post can turn into a book.
That's the goal, man.
And so it's definitely, I know it's going to be excellent right there. Coming out with a book. And Alfie's coming out with it. I think Eddie jumped off. But definitely, want to definitely thank you guys for staying on. I am about to go to bed. I'm about to go to bed. You guys have a good night. Thank you for listening. Go back and listen to the thing.
All right,
Right,
long.
take care. Yeah,
Yeah,
All
what's
right,
happening,
Alfie,
Alfie?
stay up. Alfie, stay up. No pun intended. I'm about to be up.
Oh,
Gotta be blessed.
all
All
right.
right. Man.
You still live, man.
Okay. Hey, well, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the show. Lawrence D. Adams edition. And follow Lawrence on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Dominance Mindset and Raw Game. Lawrence, same thing. Um, excuse me. One-on-one consultation. KingdomConsultingFirm.com. And also get on the Patreon. The link is in the chat somewhere. Lawrence, he got his thing already. I hope y'all have a good night. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Peace.
Peace.